All right. We are live once again.
Excellent.
And
Since
Jacob is back with us.
MJ's character, yes, my wonderful little brother, my engine of chaos.
I'm back. Hey, boys. I'm back.
MJ, your character
Mhm.
has sort of taken center stage to a certain degree since Jacob's character is looking for you and Matt's character is looking for you.
Okay.
Well, Matt's character's actually found you, and we'll get to that in a minute. Anyways, let's start with you. You're a reclusive, unstable cleric who unexpectedly channels random powers from the gods.
Yep.
You're reclusive, so I'm assuming that you made your way to Waybury because it's out of the way. It's a reclusive, sort of solitary place on the edge of Grand March, the Grand March Duchy. What brought you to Waybury, and how long have you been here?
I'll say I've been here for a month or so, actually. And basically, I was brought to Waybury by having to leave the last city that I had come from, or the last area that I had found solace in, and made my way to Waybury and kind of fallen in with I don't know, the local blacksmith or something, or something like that.
Okay. Well, let's come up with a name for the blacksmith. You befriended him, or was he maybe somebody who you knew? Maybe he was your brother or something, and he said, why don't you come to Waybury to get away from the big city? Because maybe you came from Hook Hill.
Yeah, I'd say let's not make it any sort of like family member, but
Okay.
maybe how
Acquaintance?
about
Friend?
a friend of an acquaintance or something like that?
Okay.
And we'll call him
Magnus.
That's Magnus. We'll
All right.
call him Prath. He was in a gladiator in arenas a long time ago.
All right. So go ahead, MJ, in your extras or in your notes or somewhere, go ahead and write probably in your notes at the bottom, you're friends with the blacksmith Prath in Waybury.
Okay.
Now, do you live in the inn? Do you have a cottage on the edge of town? Where do you stay around here?
I would say I probably stay at the blacksmith's place, just in like a little, corner of his place or something like that. I'd, somewhere totally out of the way. What's the word? Just simple and not too. I definitely don't stay in the inn or anything like that. My guy is just too.
So
too
you chill out
on
the
run.
blacksmith area.
Yeah, he's given me like a little corner in his workshop or something like that, and I just got some hay on the ground and stuff like that. My backpack and not too much, possessions at all. I'm always on the move. Always on the move.
All right.
Always on the run.
Now we're going to go with Matt Perrin. Is this named after the guy from Wheel of Time?
That is where the name came from.
Ironic that he's staying with a blacksmith.
I know, because it's something actually like that character. I just couldn't think of a name.
You want to say that you're like maybe the paladin? I mean, not the paladin, the blacksmith's son, and that's how you met him.
What I had been thinking was that the bio I wrote is youngest son of a once noble house that has sold their souls for power. The family has strayed from the light to gain the power of the dark. Perrin has found the light once again and is living a life of service and justice to atone for the sins of his family. He prays he can do enough good in the world to silence the nightmares of the things he has seen and done. Thinking
Nice.
like I gave up my inheritance, I disowned my family. I couldn't fight them or challenge them, but have gone off in the world to try to find people who the gods and are doing good. So I've heard tell of this interesting cleric and have sought him out to learn the powers of the gods and also to try to help the holy gods back into the world.
All right. Well, that actually works great. Did you read the backstory for the world, or like the world building post I made?
I've not
Because
yet.
your character actually fits into that great. Well, that's fine. It doesn't really matter because you fit in really great, and I'll actually read it right before we get officially started.
Oh, I was actually reading it right now, but I'll just wait.
So your character actually fits into that really good, and you see. I'll just tell you this little bit out of the backstory is that Pelor, the king of the gods, the sun god, the god of order and culture and all this stuff, has kind of fallen silent in a way. He still grants clerics powers, but it feels more out of habit than anything. So it would make sense if you're going to be a paladin of good, you want to find Relay and talk to the gods through him, or somehow try to reignite Pelor's interest in the world, or the plane of man.
Mhm.
And your trouble that I wrote in for you, which is completely up to you to change, but I thought it was awesome, is your paladin tenets are literally your trouble. Honesty, courage, compassion, honor, and duty. That means you're going to be good to a fault. Honor and duty,
Great,
honesty. I mean, I can just imagine you.
The complete
Go ahead.
180 of I had been doing some bad stuff, so me having to like about it, I think will be
Atone.
It's kind of Batman-ish.
Like I could just imagine. I could just imagine you guys trying to sneak into a city, and the guards are like, "Are you guys who you say you are?" And you're like, "Of course we are not." Like, let's be honest.
Do you see the armor?
yeah, I'm goody two shoes.
Which is going to be an about face from your last couple of characters, which will be an interesting change of pace.
I feel like
we told Jacob about you throwing the lady to the zombies.
And didn't shoot anyone in the head ever.
I told Jacob about you throwing the
Arnie.
Chinese lady to the pool of zombies. So
I've noticed something in Joe's games. People get thrown from shit a lot. Fucking, there was a guy that got pushed out of a moving car. There was a sea
the
captain
doctor.
over a boat. There was a
Oh,
Chinese
man.
person that got dropped out of an air duct.
The
And-
doctor getting thrown out of the car was the funniest thing ever because we weren't even planning on taking him, and all of a sudden, no, of course we were going to save him, and we're like, wait, what? And then like 5 seconds later, throws him out of the car so he can get eaten by a giant monster.
Yeah, I laughed pretty hard yesterday when Joseph told me that story.
Don't forget about the
This,
little girl out the window too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
Jesus
boss is not
Christ, you
innocent in all
guys.
this. He murdered a little girl in the last game.
You got any babies y'all ate you want to tell me
Not
about?
on purpose. This we're using this new system that I have you guys. I know that like I didn't know. I didn't look. I run through the door charging, and then
He didn't bother to look to see that she was wearing a little dress, and a little girl. She's just doing her job. Bash,
well, she was
goes out there
smash
and-
her out
basically a
the window
zombie,
with a
so I
shield.
didn't feel too bad. But yeah, this the success gradient on this game that I have, where if you succeed at a cost, you get XP, really makes people want to succeed at a cost. And the game that I play with my family, one of the people was asleep, and they're on a boat in the middle of an ocean with the captain is literally paranoid schizophrenic plus telepathic, so he accidentally reads people's thoughts all the time. And then so he's like really insane. And one of my players made the motivation survive the trip with the crazy captain. So by making that his motivation, instantly the captain was going to be antagonistic towards him. So at one point, the insane captain is sleepwalking with a spear, and he's preparing to stab him. and he rolls to basically survive, to get out of the way, and he succeeds at a cost. And I'm like, oh, so you want to succeed at a cost? And he's like, oh yeah. And I was like, all right, the to your armor, but just misses your skin, and as it locks into the armor and you roll over in a panic, you throw the captain with the leverage of the spear over the side. Well, the captain's sleepwalking, so he doesn't even try to swim, and he just sinks away. And he's like, what? Like, out of character, he literally panicked. He's like, what? It was great. Okay, well, you have 10 seconds to explain to me what you're going to do to save the captain. Because at first he's like, I'm going to tie a rope to my spear and then run over here. And I'm like, no, he's sinking, and there's a strong undercurrent. There's no time to make a fishing pole out of a spear. So he's like, and I'm like, 10, 9, and he didn't think of anything. I'm like, all right, the captain's gone. What do you guys do now? And they're like, oh, shit.
Oh man.
It was great.
We gotta throw up the macro for Jacob to post pictures in the chat.
Is that a thing?
I can find it.
Where's the macros at?
I think it's on the first page of the GTT.
Oh yeah. He wrote a macro in there.
Yeah, where is it?
But anyways,
yeah, go ahead.
So enough of the telling about my other game. So he's been here for a month. Matt, would you say that Perrin followed him here from Hook Hill, or did you find him in Waybury?
I've been hearing tale of him as he travels around, so I've been kind of going city to city, tracking him down.
And you just caught up to him in Waybury?
Yes.
So how long have you been in Waybury? He said he's been here for about a month. So would you be here a couple of weeks then, maybe?
A week or two, if I've kind of gotten to know him a little bit already.
Sounds good. We will pick it up here then. Jacob will explain your character when you get added in here in just a moment.
Dope.
But I'm going to read the world building post real quick. Waybury is a small, prosperous village known far and wide for their quality tobacco. Well, Waybury used to be prosperous. In recent years, the level of taxation in Grand March has become stifling for the populace. Capital of Grand March, a sprawling metropolis and trade hub known as Hook Hill, is a corrupt bureaucratic mess. Waybury sees little to nothing from the city and that demands so much of them, not even in light of the growing goblin menace. The king of the gods, the once benevolent patron of man, has grown silent, almost willfully blind to the sprawling corruption of Grand March and beyond. It's even rumored by traveling merchants that Hook Hill has closed its last temple of Pelor to house further convoluted serpentine arms of the bureaucracy. Why has Pelor fallen silent? Sure, he still grants his clerics powers, but it would seem as though it's out of habit and not the beneficent guiding hand that it once was. And that's the world we're in, which now you can see why your character fits so well into it, someone trying to get in contact with the gods when the gods have more or less fallen silent, or at least the king has.
Yes. And they've heard strange news of this strange person who just seems to be channeling all the gods.
Exactly. So it worked out perfectly that you guys are tied in together. All right. It is the night of the Harvest Festival in Waybury. It's understood that everyone's to show up. The blacksmith, your friend Prath, insists that you go, Relay. He's like, you need to relax. You need to have some alcohol in you and have a good time. Won't you go to the festival with me, Relay?
I don't know. It
puts
might
his
be
hands
better if I
on your
just
shoulder.
stay. Relay's just kind of having thoughts and minds of past things that have happened in life when he's been into public assemblies of things going wrong, powers spawning, and yeah, I don't think it's the greatest idea.
All right, he's talking to you in like the the open outside area of his blacksmith. I imagine he's hammering on a piece of metal, and you're sitting there leaned up against something while he talks. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
And so he's looking over at you, and his brows knit in frustration. He's like, "If you just sit around here and mope all the time, you're going to descend into a depression."
I don't know. Okay. Well, okay. Relay's kind of having a battle going on within him, because part of him does kind of like, wants to listen to his friend and follow his things there and be open to his suggestion, but then the other part of him is still thinking other. So he's in the midst of a mental turmoil.
He says, "Well, suit yourself, old man. I will be going. What is Perrin up to at this moment? Is he in the vicinity or is he in town?"
He's in town, kind of. I've found Relay and known him a bit and talked to him, and I doubt that he is a messenger of the gods. He seems like an interesting fellow. So kind of searching around, making sure I have the right person, and then checking in with him every once in a while to just kind of brain and maybe ask questions that I don't know if he has answers to or not.
All right. Would you, like in town, what sort of area would you be getting something to eat? Would you be at like the inn? Maybe just out in the town
Is there
square?
a temple
You'd
in
see
town?
people decorating. There is a small temple in town. It's not dedicated to a specific god in general, but at the main altar is definitely an altar of Pelor. There is a guy who takes care of the temple. He's not a full-on cleric. He's sort of like honorary, so to speak.
I'd say when I'm not talking to people out on the street and asking around about Relay to see if he's the real deal, I'd be at the temple studying and praying.
What would you say the temple caretaker's name is? And I would assume you guys have gotten to be relatively friendly, being both holy men.
Yeah. I'm terrible at thinking of names.
All right.
Jonathan.
I'm just going to grab my D&D book that's right here because I know I have the whole list of names.
There you go. NPC names.
Yeah.
Take a one from a book. Yeah, describe anything.
Where are your list of names, asshole? All right, his name is going to be Orsic.
Orsic.
Perfect. All right. Orsic, the parishioner, the caretaker of the temple, he's walking around in plain robes, and he comes and stands next to you, and he says, "So, are you planning to make it towards to the festival tonight?"
Yeah, that sounds good. I've had some travels lately, and a lot of work and study. I think a little rest and relaxation, would be good.
Always good to have a level head at these festivals. While it is important to give thanks to the gods and revel, sometimes it can get out of hand. So it's nice to have a level head around like you, Perrin. Usually I'm always the...
welcoming me in.
And he says, I'm usually the one who has to be the designated, not driver. What's the term I'm looking for? Designated level head, I guess. All right. You think your friend Relay is going to be there? That oddball cleric?
I hope so. am doing my best not to be skeptical because I know mysterious ways. He's just not what I would expect from an instrument of the gods. Peddler works
How
in
did you come to
mysterious
hear of
ways.
him?
So, I left my home searching to help those less fortunate me, and I had these
You're kind of breaking up, Matt.
strange a man performing. One of the towns I stumbled into had strange stories of a man who worked with the powers of the gods. So I tracked him from town to town to town, following him, always hearing these strange stories, till I found him here.
Alrighty. What are some of these things that you've performed, MJ, that would draw Perrin in? What are some of these? Are they miracles? Are they what's happened?
Some of them are more
You're
grand
like a
than
quad-
other ones. Yeah, they were like little incidents, and they weren't really spawned by Relay. It was more just things that came to him. So certain powers, like certain demons showing up at one time in the cities, and certain hailstorms, and just different things just showing up in different places in different types of situations. So like like I said, guardians appearing, strange weather appearing around him, strange magical effects, lightning bolts or something shooting from his fingers, and or depending on all these different situations. So there's all sorts of different stories ranging all through everywhere, and then amazing healing power that sometimes he seems to wield intentionally.
What do you think your axe could be construed as having divine power?
My axe or my mace?
Yeah.
My mace?
No, your axe, ACTS.
Oh, okay. Yeah, axe. Yes, absolutely.
All right.
They kind of seem to be divine, and then they kind of seem to be demonic also at the same time.
Nice. All right. It's getting close to the official start of the festival. Let's pick it up with Perrin. What are you going to do? Would you like to seek out Relay and try to bring him out to the festivities, or are you going to go just stand guard? What is it that Perrin would do? There's a large crowd of people gathering in the town square now. There's lots of decorations, collections of pumpkins and all that sort of stuff. It's basically like a Walpurgis All Hallows Eve mixed in with Thanksgiving type of feeling. It's your typical harvest festival. Evil times.
I'll go find Relay at the blacksmith and kind of use this as an opportunity to get to know him better. Invite him to go to as kind of a friend, so I can to kind of
what sort of
ask
contact
him some questions.
has Perrin and Relay had prior to?
I don't think anything too crazy. Kind of the man I've been hearing about, and
okay, so we've just kind of
a few
run
times, but haven't really.
We've run into.
He's heard of your deeds.
That,
yeah,
right.
Fully expressed.
He's heard of your
I've been
deeds
following
and followed you around.
Okay, I think
But,
Perrin would have seen in Relay's countenance that in the little small talk encounters that they've had here at Waybury, that if pushed, he kind of seems like he'll run.
He'll run if pressured too hard?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
He'll if things are, because he's come to Waybury to escape
To get
these
away.
stories. Yes. So
Alrighty.
things are brought up and he starts getting very uncomfortable about it. He'll bolt.
He'll bolt. So if he read a person, he would know that your true feelings are you'll bolt if pressured.
Right.
Excellent. All right. Now, the blacksmith, your good friend there, Prath, is hammering away on what looks like a farming implement. Someone who requested a new plow or whatever, and he's working out the kinks and getting it all just right. And he says, "Oh, looks like your good friend, the paladin. What's his name? He appears to be approaching. Why don't you go say hi to him?" More friends there, Relay?
He's like, my friend? I only have you as a friend, Prath.
He gives you sort of a half smile. Well, perhaps you should expand your horizons then. I think this guy likes you.
Okay.
He's a paladin. Surely you can trust him. He'll do no wrong. In fact, he's almost annoying. He paid me too much for a breastplate because he insisted that it was the proper...
Okay. So Relay feeling kind of, what's the word? He's feeling that he does need to follow the command of Prath to go talk to Perrin, because of Perrin has got this breastplate from him and made him feel kind of like it's an obligation. So he'll kind of walk out and kind of slumping along, heading over towards Perrin.
All right, Perrin, you see Relay approaching, somewhat dejected looking.
Relay, how are you doing today?
Okay.
I figured I'd find you here over at Prath's blacksmith shop.
And you kind of see a concerned look come across his face, like, why are you looking for me?
Osik, who runs the temple, was telling me that there's a harvest festival tonight. People in town yet, but I was wondering if you and Prath were interested in joining me in a little bit of revelry tonight.
I know Prath is going to go, but I haven't decided if I should. I mean, if I'm going to go yet.
Yeah, I'm usually not one for these fests either, but I've been traveling around a lot lately, and seems like a night of being a little less serious would do me good. I don't know about you, but I think it would do quite a bit of good.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Roll is socially awkward.
No, that's already implied.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. I'm going to go back to the temple, but I will meet you at the fest near sundown.
Oh, okay. Where?
By the pumpkin carving contest.
Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. You can kind of see that Relay's kind of getting a little, flustered, because when he starts getting kind of flustered, he starts in his words.
Or stammers. That's more stammering.
Yeah, stammering. Yeah.
Before I take off, I'd go in and to Prath just to be polite.
Good evening, Perrin. How's that breastplate treating you?
Oh, it's perfect.
Or
Thank you
chainmail, I
again so
believe your
much.
character has, actually.
The chainmail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I have the
Well,
breastplate.
says, well, that was one of my finer pieces. I was very pleased that that you purchased it. Remember, all repairs on it are going to be free because that's the value. I talks about the value of his gear and how he puts all of his he puts his reputation on the line and blah 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 blah. So anytime you need a repair, just come back to him.
You're a good man, Pref. I've met a lot of people in this world, and not many stand up and as honorable as you. That's a very great thing that you're doing, standing behind your work like that. A lot of people try to take advantage and would make something that would need repair soon just to get the repeat business. So it's to see a man of his word.
He takes a rag and he washes his hands and he's like, yes, planned obsolescence, the Keynesian way.
What do you think of our mutual friend Relay?
A good man. I haven't known him very long, but he's a friend of a friend, and so therefore I trust him because my friend is certainly a good judge of character. Relay, I believe. Now I can't be certain. It's obviously speculation. I believe he's having trouble finding his place in the world. He's spread a bit thin, so to speak, and certainly an introvert, to say the least.
That's what it seems like. Between you and I've actually came here to Waybury. I heard tales of him in other stories performing miraculous acts, things occurring when he's around. Strike me as someone miraculous, but there's something about him that I think I'm going to try to get to know him better.
He tosses his rag over his shoulder and he says, well, the gods do work in mysterious ways, so I suppose you're just going to have to wait and see, huh?
You're a wise man, Prath.
All right.
Have a good day. Hopefully I will see you this evening at the festival.
Oh, I'm actually just closing up shop. I'm heading that way now. He kind of looks off at the sun and squints. He's like, I suppose we have about an hour before it really gets started.
Well, wonderful. Well, I'm going to go evening prayers a little early since I'll be at the festival, but I'll meet you there.
He kind of gives you a sidelong grin. He's like, all right, you go pray. I'm going to go get a beer.
All right.
He's going to go pray to Bacchus.
I will go ahead back to the temple for a little bit.
All right. Orsic has already wrapped up everything at the temple, and he's no longer there, so you'll have free reign to do, your praying in whatever manner you like. Does Relay head to town, or is he going to stand there awkwardly all night?
He'll probably after he's seeing Perrin head out of the blacksmith, he'll kind of head back in and go to his little corner, and he's still kind of determining if he's going to show up to the festival or not.
All right, Preth shuts the door. He after having gone inside, he's changed out of his work clothes, and he comes out and he dresses up quite well. He's got his hair all fixed and his beard combed out, and he's like, "Oh, come on, old man, let's go have some fun. I'll get a few pints in you, and maybe even wingman you. I can hook you up with the innkeeper's sister."
Sister. That makes him
He's
really
just staring.
uncomfortable. Yeah, he's got
staring
no
at
words.
you.
Yeah,
Well, tell you what, you could.
I don't know if
you
I'm
could think
feeling
of
very
some words.
well.
Oh, believe me, you'll feel better after you get a couple of pints in you. He kind of grabs you by the forearm and he's like pulling you along. He's like, "Come on, you can think of what to say to her on the way."
And so he's kind of reluctantly just kind of going along,
Being drug along.
being drug along. Yep, he'll follow, but reluctantly.
Right. Eventually, you guys get to the town center, and it's very crowded. All the surrounding farms, all the people have come to town with their whole families. So while the population is usually around 100 in Waybury, when all the farmers come in, it swells to like 250 or so from all the surrounding lands, and the town square is quite big and quite densely packed at the moment. And you see a pumpkin carving contest.
A pumpkin carving
Prath-
contest.
Let's go of you. Dragging you goes off and he gets a pint and he gives you a pint and he's drinking it and he gets onto a second one and he's like being very jovial. And he's like, as soon as I see the innkeeper's sister, I'll hook you guys up. But for now, I'm gonna go over here. And he goes like chasing like maybe one of the bar wenches or something. Prath being Prath is a horn dog, and he goes and chases tail.
He's looking for elves.
Yeah. Now we're going to cut to Azar Malkav. Jacob, are you there? Jacob.
He must be muted. Or all a role playing put him to sleep.
Can you turn on your microphone? Or did you mute in the Hangout maybe?
Oh no, he's not in the Hangout anymore. He bounced from the Hangout.
He's just gonna relog to the Hangout. Yeah, you're muted. You have the little mute button.
There you are.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I don't know why I did that, but anyways, where were we? What?
We're just gonna go to you. Azar is just arriving in Waybury on the night of their harvest festival. So you see a large crowd of people in the center, and as you're making your way into town, everybody's very welcoming of you. This is a very unjudgmental populace. So you're taking on in a very friendly manner very easily. Now, from where does Azar hail and what brings him to Waybury?
Azar Malkav, he hails from the magical city of Valuna, and through his magical research, reading old grimoires in the library, one in particular that I brought with me, and in that book I found some spells I can conjure up on how to make myself more powerful. And in that book there was a prophecy about a conduit of the gods, and most think it's like an item. I think it's a person, and I think it's this cleric I've been hearing about.
No.
And I've made my way to this town in search of the cleric who convenes with the gods.
Because I'm going to steal his power.
Oh man.
You've made your way into town. You're in the town square. So we're going to cut back to Relay real quick. You see somebody that you've never seen before in town, and you've been here long enough that you've seen most everyone. Even the farmers have all come to town at some point to do whatever farmers do in town, trade milk. I don't know. And when you see this guy, he sticks out because his clothes are nicer than the average farmer. He wears fingerless gloves. I mean, who wears fingerless gloves?
I wear fingerless gloves.
In fact,
They're ruined
Azar, what do you
gloves.
look like?
What's that?
What do you
clad
look
in
like?
Black, and like my base color is black, but there's like extravagant gold and red designs, all like jewelry, kind of, And right now I have a hood, like pulled up like a cloak over all of that.
Yeah, it looks totally out of place to Relay, and he's gonna shrink back into the shadows somewhere, try to, keep out of sight, back behind some people or something, or something like that. So he'll kind of shrink away first of all from Prath and or Perrin, and try to find a spot where he can sort of keep his eye on this newcomer, but at the same time, be hidden.
What is Relay's most defining feature? Like, when people see him, what do they think? Like, for instance, in real life, I'm very tall, so when people see me, they think, "Oh, the tall guy."
Yeah.
Jacob has luxurious hair, so when anyone sees Jacob, they think
Luxurious.
Yeah, just look at his Google Hangouts picture. That's literally all the time.
Yeah, I think that with Relay, they would mostly notice his broad shoulders. He's just kind of an average height and everything, but he's got extremely broad shoulders.
I scan the room and I see a guy who looks like he's wearing shoulder pads.
Exactly, because
that's why he can't wear any armor, but he just wears his breastplate because his shoulders are too broad.
So as you've come in search of this cleric that you've heard of, the one thing everyone always says is, "Oh, the broad-shouldered cleric who does random shit." Well, more eloquently they put it, but you get the point. You're looking for a cleric with broad shoulders, and so you enter in, you look around, and as you glance around the town, there's really only, the city guards or the town guards wear typical gear. There's only like 3 or 4 of them. It's mostly leather, and they have a little spear. Those are certainly not clerics. You see the temple parishioner wearing a robe. He could be a cleric. And then you catch out of the corner of your eye this guy shrinking back into the crowd, trying to disappear. With a breastplate. Would it be shiny, or is it dingy? Is it dented? How would your breastplate look?
He's kind of it's worn. It's not like it's more like a family heirloom, but it seems to be a ancient make. It doesn't
like an antique.
Yeah, it seems to be like a family heirloom that was passed down from generation to generation.
Would it be polished? Like maybe Prath hooked you up with a nice shine?
No, Relay wouldn't let Prath actually touch the breastplate or anything like that.
Does it have any inlays, anything emblazoned on the chest?
Like
maybe a sun?
Some crests or something like that, and then some designs that kind of come out from the crest.
All right. Well, you've heard the descriptions of the cleric with the crested breastplate and the broad shoulders, and you're like, that's got to be him. Or this is a really crazy coincidence.
Don't I get a stealth roll to hide from him?
Socially awkward people have the worst stealth in the world.
That's true. It's true.
If he's not trained in it, let him try it. I'm down to let him try it.
All right, let me see. Okay. When players actually have opposed rolls, the way it goes is it's a bidding process. So, MJ,
I bet 4.
You would say that you exactly. You're basically going to say that you have 2 points of stealth, right? You have 2d6.
Yeah.
Jacob, if you would like to perceive him, you're basically, I'm going to say it's going to be an investigate check to actually, because you're looking for him actively. Do you have investigate as a skill?
I'm incompetent in investigate.
Ooh.
All right. So you've got one
dice, okay?
All right.
One versus 2.
right now, MJ is rolling 2 dice and Jacob is rolling 1 dice. Now, Jacob, you could choose to commit potential to it if you'd rather have a better chance of perceiving him.
I'll take
so. You're gonna what?
I'll take the fail. Like, I'm not gonna re-roll it.
All right, so you're just gonna roll 1d6.
Yeah.
All right, MJ. roll your
Double snake
stealth.
eyes.
All right,
Two versus
he
two.
got 2 successes.
Oh,
His
okay. Yeah.
successes.
So you're going to succeed with a major bonus, basically, because you succeeded 2 over him.
Nice.
So,
so maybe he sees me, but then he doesn't quite recognize if that's me or not.
I scan the room or the festival, and I see what appears to be a mannequin wearing a rather nice old breastplate as I just keep scanning past it.
right, like he glances over you, and so he's looking for the broad shoulders and the breastplate thing. So as soon as his eyes turn your way, you turn to the side just in time, so your emblazoned and is hidden, and your shoulders don't appear as broad, and then you duck back through a doorway, maybe inside the inn or maybe around a corner or something.
Also, everything I've heard about him is that he's this broad-shouldered, power-wielding guy who's got this amazing breastplate, and I'm not expecting this cowardly little meek trying to hide guy.
Yeah.
Like, where's this giant shiny guy who's like, look at me? So I'm looking for that.
MJ
So you're looking
invincible.
for big powerful guy, and Joe Average ducks into a corner somewhere. All right. So you're in the town, and everyone is accepting of you, Azar, and this guy looks like maybe a town guard or something comes up to you, and he goes, "Oh, where are you from?
I'm
Never seen fingerless gloves quite like that."
I look down at my gloves and I flip my hand over and I consider killing the man. But I don't. I answer him and say, I come from Thornward. I lie. I just make shit up.
Well, he has no clue where Thornward is. He's like, Thornward?
It's
Is that like a
far
district?
away. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So what brings you to Waybury?
I've come for family that I've heard is here. I have an old brother, a cleric. He's a bit odd.
Odd? Oh, yeah. That could only be one guy. God. He's got a weird name. Like,
It piques my interest, and I say, spit it out.
really, Relo, something like that. He's got really broad shoulders with like this crazy breastplate, but he hides from people, and he's at like really average height.
Do I recall seeing them now?
Absolutely not. He
Okay.
nailed it. But
Gotcha.
he often hangs out with the blacksmith. He's like really good friends with the blacksmith, Preth. You see the guy right over there drinking with the barmaid sitting on his lap?
Yeah, I look around.
That's his buddy.
I
That's his
immediately
buddy over
leave
there.
and go talk to him without saying bye or anything.
Oh, nice meeting you. What's your name?
I ignore
you
him and
too.
keep walking. You, blacksmith. Your name is Prath.
Really good. My name is Preth, and your name is Bob.
Incorrect. I seek a cleric that I hear you are accompanying.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who is happens to be a cleric, but
What is his name?
I don't think he has friends, which is the ironic point, considering I call him a friend.
And he told you earlier that he didn't have friends.
Yeah.
I am his brother.
So
I've heard he has found his way to this town.
he never said he had a brother. That's weird.
He's not exactly happy about his roots.
Huh. That's
Run,
interesting.
Brass,
So
run.
if he's not happy about his roots, I don't look. He kind of is having some anxiety issues. So he's trying to work through those right now. I don't necessarily think it'd be a great idea for you to go hang out with him.
I want to roll a deceive check on Prath and be like, I'm bringing him his antidepressants.
Nice. Prath is not particularly super insightful, and on top of that, he's drunk at the moment. So I'm going to set it at an obstacle 2.
I succeeded with 3. Oh, failed 1 though.
In the future, before you roll, allow me to set the obstacle, and we can go through all the meta of it so that you can decide if you want to. And also, you want to think about, the consequences of failure and all that, and blah 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 blah. So you could determine how much potential you want to spend on it. Like the roll is the absolute last thing that happens.
I got it.
But yeah, obviously. Well, you succeed with a minor cost. I mean, not with a minor cost, with a minor bonus. So not only does he believe you, his further suspicions of you are assuaged. He's like, oh, he must be the good brother, and he's just here to help him. So he actually has a little bit more trust for you now. And he goes, oh, what did you say your name was again?
Kevin.
He takes a drink off his mug, and he's like, I think you mentioned a Kevin before. Maybe. But anyways, he's right this way. Let me go ahead and hop up, Mary. I'll be right back. He gives her a wink, pats her on the tush, and he says, this way. You see Prath walking over towards you, his chin up like he's going to be doing a good thing. He's holding his mug of ale, and there's a stranger in tow behind him. That's when, Perrin, you finally enter into the town square, and you see this guy who you've never seen before in your life walking behind Prath in the direction of who you can only assume is Relay, hiding around the corner. You see his face poking out surreptitiously.
Help me.
Would you like to do anything, Perrin, or would you prefer to observe?
I cut it out there. I missed that last part.
You basically observe Jacob's character walking behind Prath towards Relay, hiding around the corner. You could see around the corner from your angle. So it's clear that they're going to visit with him, and you've never seen this person before, and he sticks out like a sore thumb here. He's wearing a black robe with gilded inlays and fingerless gloves. I mean, who wears fingerless gloves? So
that would be murderers.
Since my family dabbled in a little bit of the dark side, would I
they wore fingerless gloves too.
Recognize them?
It's a sign of the devil. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What?
You're cutting out.
Yeah, they could cut now.
Runes are on his robes.
Okay, all I heard was robes.
Yeah, on his robes.
I think runes on his robes. I can send you a picture of the runes on my robes.
Robes.
Would Perrin recognize any of that, though?
Tell you what. Give me a lore check. We're going to say common runes. How common would you consider them, Jacob? Are these very...
This is a significant rune on my cloak. It represents an order I'm participating in.
All right. Well, then I'm going to set this at an obstacle 3. It's a significant rune, but you're going to have to know quite specifically about it to understand its purpose. So this is going to be a demanding...
blood. Like it looks like the blood's like red blood on the cloak, but it's the rune.
Gotcha.
So an obstacle,
lore, right?
Yeah, obstacle 3 lore. So you have 3d6 default, so you can add some potential to that to get a better chance, or or you can just roll it straight and hope for the best.
Roll it straight, because picking characters, it might be best that I don't know what he's about for a while.
So you
All
walk
right.
up, you're like, oh, I'd fuck that right now. When can we put motives in? I put one in earlier when we were setting up.
All right. You could succeed at a minor cost. The minor cost is going to be that you're going to know what the rune does, right? Oh, and so you can go ahead and record an XP in your lore if you would like to succeed at a minor
Man,
cost.
lucky.
Otherwise, you could fail.
Minor cost is?
Jacob, his lore is it turns out that this knowledge of you is not necessarily his own. It's almost like it comes from a higher power, and you feel this tinge of something looking down on you, and you instantly lock eyes with Perrin, and you realize he's staring right at you, and you guys have this moment of kind of like not really at odds, but you don't feel comfortable with him analyzing you so sharply.
I stare back at him for a moment, and like a glint goes over my eye, like kind of like a magical sheen, and I just like look away and focus.
And
on
it sounds like a
my
tinkle
task.
bell. A tinker bell.
Yeah,
What does the emblem mean, Jacob? Because he knows what it means.
the emblem means I am in the order of Belial, and that I am not necessarily bad, but I definitely don't give a fuck about trying to be good.
Oh, you're a
And
very,
or-
very bad man. Very bad.
Pretty much. And I have been known to cause, like, not me personally, but my order has been known to cause trouble with like sacrifices and such. Yeah, chaotic neutral.
So I'll definitely kind of be a little wary of him, but not anything. The man hasn't shown me any reason to be. But I will approach, try to get to Relay and start talking to him.
All right.
That's exactly what Rayleigh looks like.
That's right. Bad man.
Except
Very
the
bad
shoulders are a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
The shoulders are just a little more broad.
man. Shoulders are a lot more broad. He's got
All right,
LeBron James shoulders.
Perrin, you can get to Relay, but you'll be arriving at roughly the same time as Azar if you would like to try to get to him.
Yeah, I'll try to get to him. Beat them there, but I'll walk over to them.
Relay, you're sitting here, and you catch out of the corner of your eye Perrin walking at you with very strong intent, a slight bit of confusion or perhaps worry on his face. It's hard to determine exactly what it is. And then you see Prath stumbling towards you with a stranger behind him.
With
What
the
do you do?
stranger that I noticed with the
Yeah.
cloak and everything, right?
That made him do the stealth check.
Correct.
He's bolting
Correct.
back to the blacksmith.
All right.
He's out of there. He's out of there. He's
Perrin,
just
you see
going to
him running
turn
off.
immediately, and he's heading right back towards the blacksmith.
Is he running?
What's that?
Yeah, he's running towards the blacksmith.
If you guys are like really close,
stop
then
following Prath and pursue, still walking, but I pursue Rayleigh.
All right. Check out the map right here really quick.
Little house.
little house.
This is the blacksmith. It's basically on the northeastern side of town. Not quite backing up to the mountains, but the mountains aren't too far away from it, which is convenient for a blacksmith who might need to go Minecrafting or something. Now, Give me, everybody, give me
$2.
a notice check. Yeah, $2. Dollar bills, y'all.
Let's see. What do I roll for that? Is that my character sheet?
I don't think I
notice,
gave a notice skill.
Yeah, is it insight?
So what we're going to do, because, I didn't do a notice skill because I don't want people to not notice things. I want to measure who notices it. So everybody just roll 1d6.
Okay.
Okay, I'll just put a notice skill on my incompetence.
Czar is totally focused. Relay is totally focused on getting away. Come on, Perrin, roll a d6.
I failed.
You failed badly.
I did roll a 3, though.
Yeah.
God, weird.
We all rolled zeros.
Wow, y'all all rolled a 3.
We suck.
Okay, you guys are all really intent on the chase. I'm going to say that Perrin settles in just between you guys, so you definitely noticed the guy who was noticing you. It also seems to be in pursuit of Relay, and Relay is running back to the blacksmith. Of course, you don't know that. You just know he's running away. And then Prath is like, Relay, where are you going? Where are you going, dude?
And he's not. He's just bolting back. He's got to get back to his safe place, or if these people pursue him, he's got to get out of town.
Man, he's running towards a safe space. That's what he calls the blacksmith. He literally calls my house a safe space.
Safe space.
All right. Do you run inside the blacksmith?
Yeah. As he gets in there, he's going to go inside and head towards this little corner.
Do Perrin and Azar interact? They're relatively close to each other. They could talk.
I'm far too focused on finding the man that I'm after, my brother.
Gotcha. All right. Relay runs inside the blacksmith. What do you do inside there? Do you bar the door?
No. First of all, he'll just head to his little corner in the dark and
the safe space.
Yeah, in his safe space, and then wait and see. Now, I think with his experience of different other areas that he's had to get out real quickly, that he's had to have some sort of like trap door in the little corner that he's at, to where he can just grab his things and roll out and get out of there. So he's just going to hang out in his little dark corner. No candle on, just going to keep the light out, so it's just be the ambient light from the moon or whatever, and he's just going to wait and see what happens. But then he's got one hand on his backpack and his possessions, and the other hand on the trapdoor.
You feel the guiding hand of a god on your shoulder. You can't quite figure out what it's telling you, but it is telling you that you're in danger here.
Oh, really? So he's totally feeling endangered.
Yeah, you feel endangered in the blacksmith, and the push, like it almost feels like the hand is pushing you away from the danger. Of course, this is all interpretive of the feeling. You don't actually feel a physical push, but it's pushing you back towards the town, like away from the mountains, more or less, like directly back this way.
Now, Relay has experienced both evil gods and good gods and neutral gods. Which god is he experiencing here the feelings from?
To do that level of analysis, you have to really delve into it. And in this situation, I'm just going to call that an obstacle 2, because it's a relatively familiar hand. It's a god that's contacted you before.
Okay. So what do I roll for that? The lore?
Your insight?
Oh, insight. Okay. Yeah. All right.
You have a level 4 skill, so you could roll it straight, or you could add some potential to it.
Yeah. And what was my ob on it?
Obstacle 2.
Obstacle 2. I am going to leave it up to just the fate of that and just roll my straight insight. I'm not going to use any potential. Well, can I use potential afterwards too, or have to use it before?
Nope. It's pre-roll.
Okay, pre-roll. Okay. So I'm going to do it straight and leave it up. I would say leave it up to fate, but I guess we'll leave it up to the gods.
Nice.
Ooh,
they were kind.
Look at that. I got 2.
The gods are kind.
Oh, that's
you
2
succeed.
6s. That's 2 6s.
Yeah, you could explode them if you had any crux,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna worry about making motivations quite yet. The hand of the god, you recognize it as benevolent. It's going to be a god of secrets and knowledge. What is the name of this god? Because I don't know the D&D lore well enough to call a god off the top of my head.
I should pull up the
Malcor.
Malcor.
That sounds like a bad god. That's your god.
It is bad god.
Great. Just great.
There's a goddess Celestian. I just looked in the player's handbook, and she's the goddess of
wine.
And wine. She's a goddess of knowledge and the things of that nature, and so you would feel that she knows what she's talking about. She's in no way trying to trick you because she's a good god.
Okay, he'll bolt out his little hidden hatch and grab his stuff, and he's going. He's moving.
Well, are you moving back towards the town then? Because she's pushing you. Say towards the town would be incorrect. She's pushing you away from the mountains.
Okay.
Which the town happens to be away from the mountains. That's the feeling you get. Mountains bad.
Okay. He is going to wait to see if anybody comes through the door. And then once it comes through the door, then he's going to make his dart through his little secret escape hatch and then make his way back towards the town. He's going to follow the guidance of this goddess, and do exactly that. But he's going to try to make. Yeah.
Perrin and Azar, roll d6s real quick for a quick notice, and try not to tie this time for the love of God.
Another 3.
Yes, you think about rolling another 3.
No, you're correct. You're correct. I didn't.
Oops. Nope. Didn't work.
Which skill is that?
That's crazy.
What?
Oh, your macro must be off on one of those character sheet things.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Which one did you roll?
I rolled the blank one. So maybe that's why. Because it doesn't have a name.
Which blank one? No, it should roll if you do the. Oh no, it doesn't. You're right. That was the very last. That was the very last one on the incompetence chart.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, big success.
You notice, and you're actually you're ahead of Azar. You notice rolling down from the mountains, there is this fog. It's moving quickly towards Waybury, towards the blacksmith, towards all of you in general. Now it rolls over the land, and the fog comes up like tentacles. It almost looks like it's crawling across the land. It's like this deep purple, and within the purple you see glitter, almost like stars, like it's a celestial being. It's almost a sentient fog rolling towards you at extraordinary speed. What would you like to do?
Oh man. Being that I am, I will yell out a warning to Relay and man who's following me and Relay, and I will then warn the townspeople that because I have to be good and warn the innocent people.
He sounds so just like God. You gotta be good.
Lawful. Oh.
All right.
Freaking
Aaron,
lawful good, man.
What is your warning? What do you say? Look out, smoke, bad stuff incoming. What do you say?
Is it? I mean, yeah. Is it something I've ever seen before? I'm assuming not.
No. It just looks not out of this world per se, because I mean it is D&D. There is obviously magical shit, but it's something you've never seen before. And certainly on a scale beyond anything you've ever seen before.
I'll warn the people that a storm is coming.
A farm? That's what I heard.
A storm.
Did you say a farm?
Storm.
Oh, storm. Okay, it cut out. Sorry. He says, "Look out! A storm is coming!" And Azar, you see him make an about face and start running back towards the town.
See, I want to say that I would notice, but
well,
just
at this
saying
point,
a
he just
storm-
called it out.
I know, but just saying a
Well, he
storm. I mean, I
called
get
it
that.
out. You would look to the sky instantly. If a storm is scaring him off, I would assume that you would look up. So you would see this roiling,
Would I recognize
massive fog.
what it is because the tentacles and stuff?
Well, you know,
Yes, it's.
I would.
You recognize it as magic on a very grand scale, to say the least. You can't
Like a spell or
define
like
it
a
exactly.
natural phenomenon kind of thing.
Not a, it's
Nothing about it's natural.
It's relatively confusing. In fact, if you would like, you could do a check on it, but this is going to be at least
What
an
would I roll?
obstacle 4.
Insight,
Probably lore.
lore. Okay, lore.
Or insight, I think would match. Lore or insight would work, I guess.
I mean, if I choose between the two, I'm going to choose insight because it's better. But I'll still roll lore if you.
Oh, you could roll insight, because insight works for you in this case because you understand magic and you're trying to understand the nature of the apparition or whatever's
What
going on.
difficulty did you say it was? 4?
Obstacle 4. Yep.
I'm going to spend some potential here.
Potential.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and drop. I'm going to spend 2 potential on it. So that's 2 extra dice, right?
Correct. So if you click on Insight, it'll get a pop-up for you that says how much potential spent, and that automatically populates in the new dice when you type 2.
All right. Okay.
5. Wow, you did really, really good.
I super know what the hell that is.
All right, as soon as you see it, you know that this is a spell that is designed for collection. This is not natural, and it's on a very grand scale.
What kind of collection? Like body harvesting, soul snatching, like what?
Kind of a combination of the two.
Oh.
It
So
is
it fully
in this-
takes you, like it abducts people.
right, and the scale that it is on. This either has to be a coven of casters working together or a powerful being. And the purple celestial like look of it.
Would I know the difference or no?
Well, since you
Like
got
that
a minor
16.
bonus,
Yeah.
since you have a minor bonus, I'm going to say that you know that this is a powerful being because the articulation of it, the way it moves it, it has great control over it. And the more minds that are working on it, the less control they have over it to move as precisely. And this is moving so precisely. A powerful being is in direct control of this.
Is it a conjured spell or is that the being itself?
It's not the being, it's a conjuration.
Okay. Can I see the being or is it like reaching out from another godly realm?
The being is not reaching out from another godly realm. This is a being based on your land, somewhere on the earth, on the lands of.
So is it coming like from this direction?
Greyhawk? Yeah, it's rolling down the mountains.
So it's safe to say he's probably up on the mountains. I just can't see him. He's doing shit up here.
That's a wonderful theory.
Okay.
You have no way to corroborate it, though?
Yeah, definitely.
And
Okay. Go ahead.
and I was just going to draw the fog rolling down here real quick.
Nice.
So there it is, rolling down the mountains towards you. It's huge. Huge. It's coming quickly.
How far away am I from the blacksmith?
You could get to the door before the fog gets to you, but you won't have much time in there. The fog is moving quickly. And then you got a guy inside ready to bolt through a trapdoor. God.
I pick up pace. Instead of walking, I full on sprint to the door and just fucking either kick it over and just like slam through it, like not physically, just like, you know what I mean? I open it and get the fuck through it. I don't like cautiously open it. And I look around to see if I can see the cleric. And I do it really quick.
The door is not a powerful door by any means, because this is actually I would say it is probably a strong door, because they have to deal with goblins periodically here, and he wouldn't want a weak door. So
he said he didn't lock it, right? Or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
It's not locked. So Nani, go bug somebody else. No, you're not going to be able to slam through this door by any means. It's too strong of a door.
I literally go and open it, just quickly go through the door.
Right, you're going to like turn the knob and slam the door open?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not just going to be like, let me make sure I'm not going to hit anybody with this or whatever. I mean, no.
So you're
yeah. I'm rushing through the door.
The door flies open, Rayleigh, very suddenly. You see through the door Prath running back towards town to warn people. He's not being cowardly. You can see he's like, by his body language. Further on,
do I see Rayleigh?
Perrin. Hold on. Further on, you see Perrin retreating, and then standing in the door, like with his arms thrown as he throws the door open. You see the fingerless gloves man, like, and he's looking right at you. You guys lock eyes, and you're hunched over your trap door that I would assume by this point you have at least halfway open. What do you do?
His flight instinct kicks in. He's gone.
You see Relay jump down a fucking trap door right in front of you before you get to speak.
I run over and I kick the trap door closed, and I immediately book it after Prath.
All right, so you think you're saving him in there?
I'm shutting the door so hopefully it doesn't leak through. I mean, at this point, I want power, but being dead's not powerful. I'm getting the fuck out of there. But at the very least, I'm going to kick that door shut and hope he's not literally just hiding in a hole right now, that goes somewhere.
Yeah, it definitely goes somewhere.
So where does it go?
The hole, it just goes out underneath the like a little small tunnel, not anything extravagant, like, you know, it goes 50 feet away or anything like that. It just gets him outside real quick. So it just goes underneath and out.
Does it pop out on the city side or on the mountain side?
It pops out on the mountain side of the blacksmith.
All right. Pop out on the mountainside, and you're greeted by this looming cloud of tentacular-like fog that's just sentiently coming towards you. It looks like one of the tentacles almost seems to be reaching for you right as you open the trap door that leads outside.
Okay. And what the divine power that's been surging in him tells him what at this point?
It told them to run away from the mountains, and you went towards the mountains, so it can't help you at this point.
Well, no, he did that, and so then he'll turn around and start making his way back towards wherever he was guided to go.
All right, so you're running back down the tunnel back into the blacksmith?
No. He'll just go around the blacksmith house and start heading back into the town then.
Okay.
Following the guidance of where he's supposed to go.
All right.
But he catches sight of all this stuff and is like, oh crap.
You're outrunning the tentacles, but you're having to be in like a dead run because it's slightly gaining on you, and you feel like it will gain on you and overtake you within like so long. It's only going the slightest bit faster than you, but you're running as hard as you can to Wayberry. Maybe if you could get a horse, you could escape it.
Okay. I don't know. I'm pretty competent in athletics.
That should tell you how fast it's going.
Okay. So it's going quicker. So yeah, Relay is not giving any care at all about anything else. He's kind of all out for himself, and he's getting out of there. So he'll make his I'm being chased.
Yeah, the fog is chasing you. Perrin, you were the first one back to town. You get there, you see the storm brewing, whatever this is. You get to the town square. Everyone's reveling around and drinking and partying and carving pumpkins. Nobody's looking to the skies, so no one really sees this coming. What do you do?
I'm going to inadvertently, I'm sure this will inadvertently cause panic, but it feels like the good thing to do. I'm going to good citizens of Wayberry, run to your homes, run for your life. Storm is coming, run.
People start looking to the sky, to the storm. Panic ensues. You see people scattering all around. You see people running towards the stables to collect their horses to get out of here because half the town is from out in the countryside. You actually do see some fights breaking out over a horse as someone tries to steal it. People are just in general running towards the river that you see here, trying to get across it. You've induced chaos.
That's what I figured would happen, even though
yeah,
not my intentions. I'm gonna, after I do that, I'm going to be kind of saying a prayer under my breath and looking for people that can help.
All right, you will.
Women and children.
You see a child that can't find its mother. You see people running around trying to find loved ones. You see the innkeeper, because the innkeeper is the largest, most fortified building. You see him ushering people inside. And he sees you pick up a small child or something. He says, "Bring him over here. Bring him over here."
Am I near there yet?
Oh, yeah, you're right behind them. You're running right behind you get there and induce panic and facepalm.
I yell, "No! Run! It will wipe out everything!" And I immediately just book it south, like away from the storm, as away can be.
As you
grab the child and bring the child into the inn.
See, I'm not such a bad
guy. So you don't trust him?
I'll warn everybody, but then I'm the fuck out of there. Fuck that kid. I don't care.
Yeah, but he doesn't trust you. He takes him to the inn anyways.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna die.
I'm not gonna do this guy.
Where does Relay run to?
He's going in the direction that he was commanded to go.
So you're booking it south out of town, just like Relay?
Exactly. Whichever direction his deity is, the deity that warned him is telling him to go.
All right, Azar
says go away from the storm, so that's why I'm going that way.
You're not at all athletics, so I imagine you have like this prancy city folk kind of jog.
I'm trying to hold the cloak up and not step on it as I'm running, like kind of high steps.
Oh, I must run for my life, and I must do it in style.
I must do it in style.
The whole time I was like, shit.
Okay, so out of your periphery to the left, you see a man with broad shoulders and an emblazoned breastplate outrunning you, and you realize it was the guy you were chasing to the blacksmith.
I think, God damn, he is fast.
Like Benny Hill up in here.
He's even wearing a breastplate.
I don't know. Oh shit! Run, Forrest.
Red Forest.
I shout out to Rayleigh, and I'm like, "Get to safety, brother." Yeah, I'll roll a deceive check if you want me to, but I'm like really playing up that like I'm his brother role.
Well, at this point he has no idea who you are, so you could be like a person who calls everybody brother, and it wouldn't mean much.
Right. Oh, those tentacles.
Your character can't help but notice, Azar, since you're actually keeping track of the whole storm thing, the tentacles further out are outrunning you, and they're outrunning Relay, and they look to be going to engulf the whole town of Waybury.
Ooh. Can Relay get to the stables to get a horse real quick, or try to?
The horses are full of people fighting over the horses right now because your good friend Perrin induced a panic.
He's just going to try to outrun him then.
All right, the tentacles close off the path in front of you and creates a wall and begins coming back towards you. So you guys are encircled by this fog.
I run towards Rayleigh as we get pulled back, and I kind of just like embrace him, and I'm like, just stay calm.
Random dude
When you
hugging
see, yeah,
Like trying to
No
keep us
homo.
together. I don't want to get
No homo.
separated if we're getting sucked into some fucking giant being thing.
so when you see the fog close off in front of you, Relay, what do you do? Do you try to go through it?
He kind of stops. No, he's not going to try to go through it. He'll kind of stop, and then he'll close his eyes, and he'll begin to start to feel if he can channel any powers, if anything's coming to him.
All right, you pause and begins to channel, and that's when Azar embraces you and says, "Be calm." And it's like really, really awkward because your eyes were closed, so you were in no way prepared. All of a sudden, you're being hugged by the fingerless gloved stranger.
Oh, yeah. It'll break his concentration.
Does he hear me, or is he just weirded out by what I did?
No, he's not really. He's not weirded out. It's more startled. Because it wasn't the actual connection that he was expecting.
But everybody loves a hug. Okay.
Yeah,
it will break. It'll break his
pause
concentration.
for a moment. You're like, "Is it God hugging me?" And then you open your eyes. Ah, God, it's fingerless gloves, man.
And he'll turn over to you and says, "Really?" He'll turn to him and say, "What do you want? What have you done?"
I've come to keep you safe, is all I say. Or I say I've been sent to keep you safe. I'll roll a deceit check if you want me to.
Do you want to believe him outright,
Or
or would
Relay
you?
doesn't believe him. Period. He knows that it's a form of control and trying to subject him.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a divine check.
No, he could choose to absolutely be suspicious of you.
Yeah.
If he's open to believing you at all, you can come down to a roll check. But if he's decided that he has zero trust for you, then
Like
no
an
check
irrational amount of distrust,
Yeah, if he-
kind of thing.
Exactly. If he's being irrational, no check is going to fix that.
Right. It's just I'm just
But
playing
you-
off his
you pause for a moment.
aspects that he'll never be subjective, and he's unstable.
Subjective.
I can't even pronounce my.
Subjected, but not ever being subjective is hilarious too.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. My guy doesn't know this, but
Right.
having just been spoken to or sensed or warned in a way by a good God that you're in trouble, and then someone comes and is like, I've been sent to keep you safe. You're still just like, fuck that, I don't give a shit.
Yep, exactly.
It would not be uncommon for the gods to send you guides to help you in a certain way.
Here's the word.
Subjugated, right?
Subjugated,
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it reminds me of a religious joke that I heard once that always cracked me up. This guy was he lived somewhere, probably Louisiana, where they're like all below sea level. And anyways, the guy came to him and said, "Oh, it's going to be flooding here. You have to get out." And the guy said, "I'm not worried. God will watch over me."
Right.
And he's like, "Okay, fine." And he leaves. And then it starts raining and the water gets up to the door, and a man comes by in a boat with several other people he's rescuing. He's like, "Quickly, get in the boat. I will rescue you." And the guy says,
"No, oh my God.
No, God will take care of me."
Yeah.
Goes up to the roof once the flooding has gone all the way up to the roof. And a chopper comes by and kicks out a ladder to him. He says, "Climb the ladder. I must rescue you." He says, No, my God will take care of me. And then the water overtakes him, washes his house away, and he dies. And he's up in heaven and he goes, "God, I had so much faith in you and you didn't save me." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I sent a dude to warn you, a boat and a helicopter."
And you did nothing. Exactly. Yep. No. So Relay is not. He doesn't place any trust. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't place any trust in anybody else, especially when they're trying to tell him, "No, we're here to help you," because of his past. He has run into people that are trying to control him or harvest his power and things like that. And so that's why he's kind of reclusive and unstable, and he just does not have anything he wants to do with people. But he is more worried about what is going on around him here, and that's why he was trying to connect to see if he could connect with the gods to see if something was going to come up or if, what to do.
All right. Azar, as you're embracing him and he's basically rejecting your invitation to be protected or whatever, you notice a person ride past you on a horse, and he's going to try to make it through the fog. You can tell he has no intent of stopping. What would you like to do? Attempt to stop him or instead evaluate?
I watch him, but I also turn Rayleigh's head, or get his attention to watch what's going to happen to this guy.
I imagine the weirdest embrace where you reach up and grab his head and turn it, and it's like, how when people are about to start dancing and they turn their head sharply and then they stick their arm out,
We're gonna cha-cha.
Anyways. Yeah, exactly. It's time to cha-cha, Rayleigh. You see the horse pass into the fog, and then the guy on the horse suddenly goes falls forward onto it, and it slides and falls out of the saddle onto the ground. And the horse keeps running, and the guy is just laying there on the ground. He appears to be breathing still. It doesn't look like he's dead per se, but he's at the very least unconscious and perhaps paralyzed. What do you guys do as you notice this?
He's just paralyzed.
Do I know what happened to him? Do I know what this spell does to people?
Well, you knew it was a collection spell, and you know that the guy's unconscious. You could put two and two together.
I get that, but is it like he collected his brain, not his brain, but his consciousness, or was it and his body's just gonna get left there, or is it he got knocked out and they're gonna come pick up his body later?
Those are both excellent theories.
Damn it.
I'm gonna continue.
I like the first one.
Help everybody get into their houses or get to the inn or get out of the outside.
All right, you notice the storm has descended on the town in a very real way. Like it's actually probably lower than the roof of the inn as the tentacles go like whipping through the streets, and it's coming in from all directions. And the inn is very central to the town, and at this point, you're running out of time. Person fall to the smoke and become unconscious. And it's a tentacle that's sort of like going past him. He got caught. Like imagine like the tentacle is like going down a street like this, and he was standing here and got caught in it. It's not a tentacle going like this towards you. So you could potentially get to the edge of this guy. You could potentially get here and pull this guy out of the fog, but he's unconscious.
I will pull him out of the fog, and then since it seems like the fog is getting in too close, I'll bring him back to the inn and shut the door of the inn.
All right, you pull him inside, and he appears to be breathing slightly. If you check a pulse, it's difficult to determine if he has a pulse, but he does appear to be alive for all intents and purposes.
Is that the guy we were next to?
Guy in town.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, and as you see through the windows, the fog is now like licking against the windows.
So we probably can't make it back to the inn now. We're out here.
Yeah. You guys are pretty screwed out there at the moment. But we'll get back to y'all in just a moment. Actually, if you want, there could be a bit of a test for you guys to weave your way through the fog to get back to the inn. Otherwise, you could go into any building you want.
So the fog's not what gets you. It's the tentacles and the fog that gets you.
Well, the fog is a mass of tentacles. It's like, it doesn't really make sense. It's just when it gets you. So like if you guys ran back to the inn, you would be weaving through tentacles of fog. It'd be like that quintessential scene where people are like diving through lasers to security system. Yeah. Like it'd be like, except that instead of hard lines, it would be like waving tentacles that you'd be jumping through.
Now, did Relay notice that the fog is actually not killing the town folk?
Well, he did cha-cha your head towards them, so you would be able to determine that as well.
Okay. As he got turned by this stranger. Okay, he's Relay is going to burst free of the stranger's grasp and dart into the tentacles.
I don't resist. I just follow him and try to stay close.
Okay, the tentacles, are you trying to save the guy who's apparently alive still? Are you trying to what are you trying to achieve running into the tentacles? Suicide?
Well, no. I mean, he's just bursting out of the grasp of this stranger that he doesn't trust, and feels that now he's in surrounded by these tentacles. He's not going to be able to get out. That there may be some sort of divine purpose to this all, or whatever is going on, and he's trusting.
So you're running to embrace the tentacles?
Not embrace, but to
accept your fate.
Yeah, to just get on with this. It's like, his whole life he's just had these random things happen to him, and now he's beginning to think, okay, this is another random strange thing that's happening in my life. All right, let's get on with it.
I love it. As you run off into the fog, much faster than Azar can run. The tentacles sort of embrace you in a way, and then they kind of climb up your nose and into your mouth, and your head just leans back, and they funnel inside of you, and your vision begins to swim, and your ears ring, and next thing you know, you feel the thump, and you realize you've fallen, and you're like looking up at the sky, and you see this swirling mass of tentacle fog above you, and then your vision goes dark.
Okay.
And that's it. Having another character re-rolled by next week. What do you do, Azar?
Apparently,
You're kidding, right?
What do you do, Azar?
Oh.
You just saw him fall down. He runs out, like throws his arms out, like, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" And tentacles go inside him, and he passes out on the ground.
Yeah, no, he
All right,
he
what
just
I do is,
ran into it.
I pull out a camcorder and I film it, and then I sell it to Japan for a lot of money.
He didn't get raped.
You said tentacles went in and out of him.
Fair enough.
No, am I close to him or no?
You're in no way going to reach him without being tentacleized.
What are my options here?
There are buildings all around. You look back at the inn, and fog is all around the inn. You could potentially weave your way to the door.
Should I potentially weave my way to him? To Rayleigh?
No, he's been totally embraced, and it's like a thick fog that, like the tentacles, have come together to form like a wall of fog there. You see people on horses riding past you into this wall of fog and falling off their horses shortly thereafter.
Do I notice it reacting to Rayleigh differently than the others? Like I got the thing I came for versus fuck these dudes?
Nope.
No, it's
not
just
at all. Okay. Everybody taken.
Well, then
everybody's affected in exactly the same way.
I face toward where Rayleigh was, and I just sit down in an Indian position, kind of just meditative and just accept my fate, but just kind of keep a mental, like, he's over there.
Man, I thought with me trying to help everybody, I'd be the one caught in the fog.
Well, they chose to run into the fog, or well, he's just accepting it. The fog slowly closes in on you as it constricts around the whole town. The wall gets closer and closer. You see people dropping in droves around you, and soon the fog is upon you. As Azar, same thing. It swims up into your nose and enters down and into your lungs and through your mouth. Your vision swims and becomes blurry, and you just kind of slump over, and you're unconscious.
All right.
Perrin, you have screaming women and children. There's a few men. Most of the men were off trying to do stuff, and you're like in there with these children that you're trying to protect. There's little kids everywhere. One of them is still clinging to your shoulder, crying. One of the ones you saved early on, and he's like, "What's going on, mister? What's going on? Where's my mommy?"
She's okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay. I kind of just like try to soothe everybody and say, we're safe in here. Don't worry. Everyone else made it to... Everybody else will be safe as well. Let's all pray
On
together.
cue, as soon as you told them everything's going to be okay, the windows shatter under pressure of this fog, which doesn't make sense for fog at all. And all of a sudden, the tentacles start whipping in through the windows. What would you like to do? The kids go into an absolute panic, like abject horror. They're just running around at this point.
If I were a kid and I saw it, I'd just pass out.
I will...
Some of them passed out.
Jesus. I'm going to push the kids behind me. I know it's probably coming in from all areas, but I'm going to push the kids behind me.
You can put yourself between the mass of the fog and the children where you feel like you're protecting them.
Yeah. I'm going to whisper a prayer, and can I try to turn the unholy?
Sure.
I don't know if it'll work or not.
That sounds excellent.
How do I do that?
What would you... Well, will would probably be the skill that you use for this.
Okay.
So I would say roll your will in an attempt to turn the unholy. Now, as far as the obstacle goes, this is a powerful, 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 powerful thing. I'm not gonna tell you the obstacle. You're just going to have to try and do what you will in this situation.
I'm going to say a prayer, and I'm going to use 5 potential.
Okay.
I am. So with potential, I mean, obviously we get it back eventually.
Right. When you rest, you recover it. Oh, your recovery should be 5.
I'll add that in. So, but I'm scared. I'm going to use 10. Like, I think this is, something, obviously it's very scary. It's dangerous. It's crazy. I'm going to really try to pray to Pelor and save the children.
All right. Dumping all 10 potential.
Oh my god. I did 10 and I only got 5. So I rolled a 3 plus 10 and only got 5.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow.
You're sitting here, and how does it look when you go to turn this evil away from you?
I see these creeping tentacles since they're blotting out the sun, and they're coming through and we're inside, so it's darker in there. They look darker than they did from outside, and they look very sinister, and they look like fingers coming to grab us. So I'm really trying to get between the kids and not sacrifice myself, but kind of be the first line and save everybody.
Kneel and hold like your amulet of your god, or do you like hold your sword up like Thundercats and scream ho at the? I mean, how does it look as you try to repel this evilness?
Yeah, I don't have any magical or holy items yet. I'm still kind of new to all of this, but I hold my sword out in front of me like I would be ready to fight, since I don't really know how else to deal with this, and kind of stand in the battle stance while issuing a prayer.
Does any sort of magic resonate on you or your blade? Like, do you get a halo over your head? Do you glow slightly, or is it all just implicit in the way things react to you?
I think it's just implicit in the way things react to me. There might be more of a stronger reaction as I grow, but I'm still very new to the gods.
Got it. All right, you stand there in your battle stance, extreme concentration, and the tentacles come towards you, and they actually form a sphere around you and the kids, and they as they try to get closer to you, they recoil and recoil away from you and recoil until it gets so dense that tentacles are no longer discernible. You're just in the middle of a almost black purple circle, and it's slowly getting close to you, and you can feel it pushing against your will as hard as it can. And then almost suddenly out of nowhere, the effort is redoubled, and it just sinks on you in a second, and you pass out, and you're gone. You fought your damnedest to hold it at bay, and it didn't work.
Well, that was a great one-shot, guys.
Now,
we tried.
Yeah, I figured, even though I didn't think, I figured I could spend all 13 and I'd still fail, but I mean, that would have just made sense in a moment of panic.
It makes sense for you guys, yeah.
Oh, no. Don't worry about it. Nobody did anything wrong. It's going great so far. I thought it was hilarious that Rayleigh's just like, just take me. Runs out into the embrace.
Well, no, it's not that. He was just accepting the fate because a deity connected with him and said, "Run to the town," and he ran to the town, also trying to get away from this strange guy in the cloak. Is like, "I'm here to help you," as he's embracing him, and then he just kind of like, well, they told me to run to the town, and it's here, and it's enclosing around me. So this is just another, process in the whole madness of my life.
All right. Now, everybody's unconscious, and you're paralyzed. You're in darkness. You can't move your body. You can't even move your fingers, but you can still breathe. And you've been unconscious, completely unconscious. So you're just now coming back to consciousness. And you can sort of open your eyes, and your vision is very hazy. And you can lift your head up just enough to look around.
Oh boy.
Now, as you guys look around, you can't miss the imposing red-cloaked figure sitting upon a skull throne. And as you inspect the room around you, you realize that there's literally hundreds of people laying around the foot of the throne, including yourselves. As you look around, you're laying uncomfortably close to Azar, Rayleigh. You're like, oh, it's that guy.
I turn over and I put my arm over him and I give him a little kiss on the cheek and just nuzzle in.
You can't move around that much. At best, you'd be able to try to like nuzzle him with your head.
Does the figure look human? Human hands or what things that we can see from it?
Okay, Ben, this?
Yeah.
What would you infer?
Well, it looks skinny, real skinny, but I'm not sure if hands are right or not.
It is quite skinny. It's quite a skinny being.
So it does. It looks human, but possibly something stranger.
Very possible.
Okay.
Perrin, as you come into consciousness and you sit up and you look around, you realize you're basically laying haphazardly at the feet of Relay. You could see the mysterious guy with the fingerless gloves looking around as well, along with in your immediate vicinity. You also see people you don't recognize at all from the town. Like there's what appears to be a half-orc. Somewhere over here you see what look just like to be merchants' guards. You see just of different people that look like they could be from all over the place. Hundreds and hundreds of them laying at the foot of this throne.
Okay, Relay's going to try to start rolling over people and trying to make his way towards some sort of exit.
All right, you as you go to roll around, literally all you could do is kind of like throw your head because your whole body is paralyzed. So, like you know how we're
paralyzed. Oh, okay. So I can't move. I'm not awake. I can open my eyes and look and see.
Yeah, you can lift your head around a little bit and glance around, but you don't have the control necessary to roll your body. Would you guys like to talk amongst yourselves or analyze the situation or do anything of that nature?
I'm going to ask Oh, go for it.
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, I'm going to ask the cloaked figure, who are you? Where are we? What have you done to us?
At this point, there's actually several people following suit with you since everyone's sort of waking up simultaneously. And he waves his hand out to silence everybody. And he says,
so it is
spell will be complete. Yeah, the voice is deep and guttural. So it might be a woman that smokes, but it's probably a dude. And it says, it basically says something along the lines of, be patient. The spell will be completed soon.
Do I recognize what's going on? Or like this figure from a book or something?
Would you like to do a lore check? This is not that obscure for somebody in your particular order. I would set it at an obstacle 2 lore.
Okay.
Obstacle 2 lore to know who this is.
I'll roll that without.
Or what it is.
Ooh, wow.
All right.
Got a 6 and 1.
You believe, at the very least, this is a lich of some sort. You can determine that for sure. This creature is long since dead. The skulls on its throne are channeling power up to it in some way. You don't know where its phylactery is or anything of that nature, but you're pretty certain that this is a lich. Now,
Hey Matt, your cell phone's
Matt, your
close to your
phone
mic
is like-
again.
Yeah.
It's vibrating crazy.
There we go.
So you also would be able to determine, based off how close you are to the Lort Mill Mountains and rumors that you've heard, that it might be the lich known as Tokzitrahl.
Do I feel like we're fucked and that's just it, or do I feel like this spell could be something we could survive?
You feel absolutely fucked and powerless. You're just like, what did I get myself into? I should have never chased this Relay asshole. do you blame Relay for your situation?
No. Because I know, like, the cost of great power.
Yep.
Do I see, is it
High risk,
just
high
this
reward.
person, or are there, like, other cultists and shit around?
You don't see cultists. You see instead large mannequin-like automaton structures. They literally look like art mannequins that you repose for drawing, except they're much, much taller and lankier than an art mannequin. And they're walking around tending the various people, like adjusting them in a pattern so that they're arrayed around the throne. Like if this is the central throne, people are arrayed around the throne like the spokes of a wheel or the rays of a sun, or so on and so forth. And that's what these creatures are doing. And as you notice them, they come over and they begin adjusting you. All you guys can do is turn your heads and stuff and be adjusted into the pattern around the central throne.
Okay. Relay's going to act like he's still unconscious.
If Matt, if you would like to do a lore check and determine what it is, that's perfectly acceptable. It's going to be an obstacle 3 check for you because remember, before you jump on rolling, consider a potential. Now, that whole first part of the game was an introductory. You guys have actually been asleep long enough that your potentials are going to be maxed out at 13. So everybody make your potential back to 13. Because I figured some people might be blowing all their potential on the fog like Perrin did. So
yeah.
So you feel fully rested, and you guys realize you've been laying here for quite a while. You're probably hungry and stuff. And
can I use a cantrip and try to be friends with the lich? Oh, wait, no, that become hostile afterwards.
Hey, I'm on your side.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
Let us go.
The spell lasts a minute. Can you get out of here in a minute?
That's what I say. I don't. He'll be. I mean, he's probably already hostile, but he'd be like way more hostile afterwards.
All right. From his sitting position in the throne, his mannequins finally get the last of the individuals arrayed around him in this wheel. Like you're the spokes of his wheel, so to speak, in this large vaulted circular sanctum that you're in. He takes up his staff and he waves it around and says some words of power that are beyond your ability by far, Azar. You're not going to in any way be able to analyze this.
Okay.
A purple begins to radiate from the base of his throne and runs out through the people. The spokes of the wheels all around him. The whole room starts to glow, and your vision begins to swirl. It feels like you're all spinning on a wheel that's going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's very disorienting. And then you black out again, and when you wake up, you know it has been instilled in you that you have to find the 13 skulls of Balthazar. Everyone in that room is looking for the 13 skulls of Balthazar. It has been instilled in you that the people who find the skulls survive, and when the last skull is found, everyone who did not find one dies. Everyone. Hundreds of people are going to die, and 13 are going to survive.
What if we find multiple skulls? Or would we, when we're done with finding one, we just bring it back?
That is the extent of your understanding. He left it blank. He doesn't want people to be too analytical. We'll just say that. And when you wake up, you guys wake up on the side of a mountain, a strange impenetrable fog.
3/4 an orc, you fucking jackass.
3/4.
You see an impenetrable fog looming behind you. Impenetrable perceptibly anyways. You can't see through it. Clouded peaks loom above you and disorient you in the world. You don't see the sun. You don't see stars or anything to let you know what's north. So you guys feel very disoriented on the side of this mountain. And you see this large boulder here that tempts fate on the precipice. It could easily be sent over the edge. And then here you are as you come out of your unconsciousness and you begin to look around. You guys just had this crazy dreamlike state. You had what you know is a curse placed upon you, and the simple instructions that you must find the skull of Balthazar, and all those who find a skull survive and everybody else dies. And you have to return the skull of Balthazar to Tokzitrahl. Kind of get the impression that when you have a skull, you'll know where to go. And all this is implicit. There aren't words. He didn't tell this to you. All this is just implicitly placed on your consciousness.
Do I feel safe with these orcs and the fat guy?
Well, we are
Like, do
to
I feel
that
like we're
point
all
yet.
working together?
Well, hold on. We will get to that. But first, I would like to ask everybody if they would like to create a motivation, because this is the official start of the game.
Well, I mean, I kind of had already filled in a motivation. Seek the cleric who convenes with the gods. I feel like I did that, but I could also just change it.
Well, at this point, you've found the cleric who convenes with the
Yeah.
gods, so you would need to make that motivation that's to something that's pertinent, like convince the dude to give me tons of power or something like that, or something more subtle. But first off, I'm going to start with Relay. Relay. You have a curse on you that says that hundreds of people will die if you find a skull, and you will die if you don't find the skull. And you feel, how does that make you feel?
Oh, he's fine with that. He just wants to get the heck out of Dodge. He doesn't care. He wants to get away from all this. He's reclusive. He doesn't want to be in this situation. He doesn't know these people. He didn't see his friend from town, the blacksmith, anywhere, did he?
You didn't say that you looked for him.
Nope,
it's very possible the blacksmith was there.
Yeah,
everyone from the town, it's very possible. You saw them all pass out like you. So it could be the entire town of Wayberry could be slaughtered.
Yep. He's just now, he's like, I'm in with people I don't know and I don't want to know, and so I want to get out of here.
All right. And also you have to take into consideration that you've never seen the orcs or this fat man who appears to be some sort of bartender or apothecary or something. You've never seen him before either. So people came from all over the place. Telling how many people could be dying if this curse is carried out.
Right.
And what is the purpose of the curse? What are the purpose of the skulls? What are the purpose of any of this? So for right now, your motivation is to escape? So what is it exactly?
Yeah, that would be the question. At this point, because he's more wanting to just get out of here. He wants to be free again. But his motivation would be to follow along so that he can, hopefully find a exit somehow.
So you want to lay low with the group, or you want to accompany the group until you feel you could escape.
Right. So his motivation, I don't know what a motivation would be at this moment. That would be something.
That's a fine motivation.
Okay.
You want to use the group to get off the mountain until you feel like you can escape them.
Right. Because his powers are very powerful when they manifest, but they don't manifest all the time. So, and he understands that, and people picture him as a cleric, but he's really not a cleric because he's not devoted to anybody.
Right. I've given you a crux point. Let me go ahead and deal 1 to relay. Now, do you have any other motive? Actually, we'll go through everybody else now. Okay. We'll go get their primary motivation. Perrin, knowing all this about the impact of this curse on hundreds of people and all the potential death, and who is this guy who's trying to make you work for him? Who is nefarious? Is he a bad guy? He doesn't seem like he's necessarily a good guy if he's going to put hundreds of people to death potentially, but that is a good motivation for people to go looking for these skulls. What would your first motivation be?
My motivation is going to be to find a skull so I can find my way back to the Lich and kill it, bring all the people from the curse so they can all be spared.
Your motivation is to find the Lich and kill it?
Yeah. To free all the people. I don't want all these innocent people to die, so my first thought is the only way to cure the curse and not have all these people die is to have to kill the Lich. Doesn't necessarily have to kill it, but to free people from the curse, I guess. Save the innocent lives.
So you want to phrase it, break the curse then?
Figure out how to break the curse. That's a good one, yeah.
All right. Figure out how to break curse. You save people. There we go. Now I will give you. Oops, almost gave you an impending doom.
Uh-oh.
Perrin. All right. Azar, what is your first motivation going to be?
Trying to decide if I want a long-term one that I work at over and over, or if I want a short-term one for the moment.
Oops, I wrote MJ's thing on your character.
I think I'm going to choose a slightly long-term one. I want to become the Lich.
Ooh. Oh.
You want to become a Lich or that Lich?
Both. I want to become a Lich that takes his place because I'm more powerful than him.
That's
more
awesome.
Powerful Lich. This is terrible. All right. I'm going to give you one of your points. Azar. Now, here's one thing that I will tell you based off your motivation. His throne was made out of skulls, and he's sending you to find these really powerful skulls. Liches use skulls as sort of the catalyst for their abilities, and they imbue them. They trap demons inside them and imbue them with all this shit. So if this guy who's got this many skulls is sending you out to find these 13 skulls of Balthazar, these skulls are powerful. Wanting to become a Lich.
Yeah, I'm going to get those skulls.
That might be a good way to go about it. All right.
Pretty much, if I chose long term, it was that. And if I chose short term, it would be find a skull so I don't die.
Right. Now, MJ, we're coming back around to you. You have two other possible motivations open. Do you have anything else that you would like to try and do? Perhaps figure out.
Yeah, I want.
You.
Yeah, I want to find the skull right away.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, real quick. If you make your character completely reclusive and antisocial, it's going to make the long-term game hard to fit you in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you have to buy into it to a certain degree.
Right. Yeah. So he's going to be willing to put his reclusive nature aside to kind of work with the group to be the first to find a skull so that he can get out of here. He doesn't really care about the other people in it. He just wants to escape. And so when he wants to use the group to get off the mountain, or to escape the stuff, so he's willing to.
So he can escape.
Yeah, to put aside.
Find a skull.
Yeah, he wants to find the first skull to escape.
I put find a skull so that I can survive.
Yes.
All right, Perrin, do you have any motivations that you would like to tag on that are work in conjunction with this one, or a shorter term, or anything of that nature?
Well, shorter term is to find a skull, obviously.
I feel like we're all gonna have that one.
Yeah, that one is, we don't really have a choice on that one.
Yep.
It would be also to help Relay find a skull, because I think he is an instrument of a god, and I want to make sure that he stays alive as well. So helping.
All right.
He's such a good person.
You want to tie that into one motivation, find a skull for myself and Relay so that we can survive?
Yes.
All right. And this hard to spell name, Relay. I'm so dyslexic. All right, Relay. Find a skull for myself and Relay so that we can survive. There we go. And
Relay's
so then Jacob.
Real easy to spell. It's really easy to spell, especially if you're dyslexic.
No, that freaking A and the E are. I don't even know why. Did I
read it backwards?
Yeah. And Jacob, do you want to find a skull, or do you want to have find all the skulls? I mean, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I would definitely want to find a skull, but I also want to kind of kill these 3 other people that are with us.
Nice.
Just have them have accidents along the way.
Okay, so
I want to minimize our chance of getting fucked over on the skull part.
Okay, so let's say you want to petition.
I want to what?
Call the competition, reduce it, kill them off. Basically.
Yeah.
Call the competition for the skulls to better my chances. And do you also? Well, how do you view Perrin in that regard? Then, do you see him as somebody useful or someone who needs to be killed off?
I recognize him from the village, and I recognize him as someone that seems to be interested in Relay right now. So I'm going to keep him around because he'll help me keep Relay safe, which I need basically to achieve lichdom.
So you can steal my power.
Or you see him as a useful idiot.
Yeah.
He's a convenient. He's just a convenience right now, is what it is.
All right. All players are going to get dealt. All right. Everyone has two Crux now. Now, do you guys want to come up with a third motivation now, or do you want to wait till something comes up and react to it and create one?
Yeah,
I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
All right, then. We'll go into character now that everyone has the thing that motivates them and drives them. You see everyone coming out of their sort of stupor, and the orcs stand up, and the one with a spear points a spear towards the fat man, and he says,
"Do we understand?
Oh yeah, he talks. He says, "You have to have a skull to survive." And he just runs at him, and he's literally going to try to stab him right now. Nobody interjects.
I'm gonna try to step in the way, and
Relay's gonna step aside.
I'll step in the way and say, "Hey, we have to work together. We should find skulls for all of us so we can all survive."
I
All right, the fat man. All right, you step in the way. The orc is charging you, and he steps forward, and he says, "There are a limited number. I must collect them and survive."
I'll say, "No, we're working together. We have a better chance of surviving if we work together."
As they're talking, I'm kind of just slowly making my way
around him.
His life is worth just as much as yours.
Relay's going to
He
step
points
back
a
towards
spear
the
at
edge.
you, and he says, "I do not trust you. Humans are not to be trusted." And he's literally going to lurch at you with a spear and try and impale you. What would you like to do in response?
I will try knocking his spear away and attacking him.
Okay, with the intent of cowing him, of killing him, of knocking him unconscious. What are you trying to achieve in this altercation?
Killing him. He's trying to
Alrighty.
murder someone.
Yep.
I won't stand for that.
All right, killing a powerful orc in single combat while everyone stands around and watches you is going to be a formidable. Yeah, you could react, but just hold on. Well, okay, how about this? What do you want to do?
I want to do the friends thing to him real quick.
Okay.
I want to charm him.
Do you charging at Perrin, and Perrin's preparing to do battle? He's like taking a stance to kill him. What are you going to do with the friends thing? You don't have much time to react.
I want to cast it on him and convince him that the other orc said that he's more orc than him, and that they need to fight it out.
All right. The orc pauses. Perrin, you see the orc pause for a moment and look back at Azar. Do you still want to try and kill him now, or are you going to wait and see what happens?
I'm not going to stab somebody in the back, so I will have to wait.
All right. He turns towards you. Now you're going to have to convince him that he's more orc than him. Now I
want to use deceive because I'm lying to him, but then also use the friends thing if I can.
Sorry, I was replying to a tell. It's a pain in the ass to reply to tells when I'm trying to track everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to deceive him. Now, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, and that is bar none obvious for especially a three-forks orc. In fact, they're probably voicing him too intellectually.
Kill for skull.
Yeah, basically is what I should have been saying. It's going to be an obstacle, too, for you to convince this guy that the other guy is more orc than him.
All
now,
right.
by what means are you going to convince him? Because this isn't going to be a deceive. You're not lying to him. You're trying to instead convince him.
Then I'm going to...
If you look at the skills, you got social. You have browbeat, threaten, reassurance, rationalize, flirt, flattery, or negotiate. This might be flattery. If you've worded it like, he says he's more orc than you, but I think you can kick his ass because you are the better orc by far. You know, that's flattery.
Yeah. Okay. I think he said he's better orc than you, but I think you could kick his ass. Something.
All right, so it's going to be an obstacle 2. Now, you used...
friends, so it's...
Crap. I'm in Perrin's thing, so...
gain a 3d6 on any report checks made with target.
Right, so go ahead and roll your flattery. at you're basically going to hit 3, put 3 where the potential would go, right?
Oh, whoops.
So
I
click
did.
flattery, type a 3. Now, do you want to add any potential to it? Because this is going to put you rolling flattery at a 4.
I'll put 1 potential towards it. Fuck it.
Okay, so
That's
then
fine.
you're going to put, so add 4 to your 1 for flattery. So you'd be rolling 5d6.
All right. Holy shit!
What in the hell?
Oh,
Why did it roll twice?
Did ride? What's ride?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that would
Wow.
be it. And you did get 1 success. So would you like to succeed at a cost, or would you like to spend a crux to potentially bump that up to a full success?
Is it a learning experience or just a major lock?
Yes, you would record an XP.
I'll record an X.
For All right.
In what? In flattery?
Battery. I already put it there. I'm sorry, I'm microing you.
No, that's fine. You got it.
So basically, as you tell him, oh, you're more orc than that guy, you could totally kill him. And then, so basically what happens is the orc becomes pissed off at you, the other orc, the half orc. He says, I never said that. He's a good orc. You're a liar. And he draws his weapon on you while the other guy draws a spear on him, while Perrin has his sword drawn on the 3/4 orc, and the 3/4 orc is vacillating between the two of him as you point at him, and it becomes like this weird Mexican standoff. And the half orc is looking at you, and he says, I'm going to kill you for saying that. And then this guy's like going back and forth saying, I'm going to kill all of you.
Well, he should be friends with me for a little bit, even because I succeeded with a fail, so I cast friends on him, so he should want to protect me.
Right. When he says that, he basically means it about, because he wanted to kill the fat man. Perrin tried to stop him from killing the fat man. Now he wants to kill Perrin. Now he wants to kill the half orc. He's very fucking just like, he's puffing up, and he's like kind of spittle flies out of his mouth as he yells that he's going to kill all of you.
I'm going to interject. Friends, maybe we should split up. You two orcs clearly are not happy.
We'll pick that up. We'll pick up there in just a moment, because that is actually hilarious. Let us go our separate ways. All right. MJ, you were asking me if you can channel some sort of power. What would you like to do exactly? Like the channel random power is your summon the guardian thing, unless you're trying to do something else in specific.
Yeah, I would like
some sort of power isn't really help. Like, tell me the intention of the power, and then we can interpret what it would be.
Okay. I would like at this time a random divinity from the gods to come.
Like a sign, like an omen?
Well, not even that, just a spell of hold person and have it burst out from me, not by me, but through me, that freezes everybody.
Mass hold person.
Mass hold person.
This is going to be an intense divinity. I mean, this urge to do this is welling up in you, but this is by no means easy, especially if you're bringing the fat man into it too. Like, I would imagine that you're kind of emotionally surging erratically, so to speak.
Right.
To do this is literally going to be a formidable task. Like, you're asking a lot of God power to be channeled through you. So this is going to be an obstacle 5. Now, before we roll anything, remember, you can think of how much potential do you want to spend? Do you want to fall back on Crux, or do you want to try to buy down the obstacle?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably, the potential doesn't do the buy down, right? The Crux do the buy down. Okay.
No. The potential, okay, you'd be using
adds to my roll.
Your will is the means by which you channel the gods. So you have 3d6 will, and against an obstacle 5, you'd ideally want to get up to about 10 total dice. So you'd need to add 7 potential to have a little bit better than 50% chance at succeeding at this. which you could do it with just those potential, or you could opt to roll a few less potential and use your Crux to re-roll 2s and 3s or explode 6s. And then the other option is you can meta bid down the obstacle a couple of spaces to make it easier to get, and you could offer to take a mental consequence, or you could offer to maybe your mace, like lightning strikes through your mace and destroys your mace, and you sacrifice your mace to buy down the, whatever you could think of that would be possible. One of my players in another game who's like super greedy at his money actually offered to like lose money in a situation where he's trying to have a rapport check with someone and just like slid them some coin, which was actually a big sacrifice for his character because he just blew like 10 potential points gambling to get that money. So
gotcha. Okay. I think, I definitely want it to go through because I want a moment here to where this extraordinary power that Relay has spawns.
Mm-hmm.
And it through him, not by him. Mm-hmm. So with the will of the 3d6, I definitely want that to go through. So I got to do a 5. Okay. So I want to add 5 potential on there. But I'm kind of liking the.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
Oh, that's fine.
Remember, it's an obstacle 5. You can reduce this to an obstacle 4, 3, 2, or 1, depending on the sacrifices you're willing to make up front. Or you can try to use a whole lot of potential to get your pool really huge.
Right. And it cost me a Crux to reduce that?
Nope. No. Crux are for re-rolling dice.
Okay, like fate points.
Right. So if you roll, you could re-roll a 2 or a 3, which are fails. Dead ducks can never be re-rolled. Mm-hmm. And a 6 can be exploded, and you can they explode exponentially. So you could potentially, roll a 6 and then roll another 6 that allows you to roll again. You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's I'm going to use 5 potential to put that up to a 8d6 then.
Okay. Right? So you're rolling 8 dice. Yeah. Would you like to buy the obstacle down to a 4 then? Or are you just going to roll 8 dice at an ob 5?
Yeah, I want to buy it down to a 4.
What would you like to do to buy it down? What sort of thing are you willing to sacrifice?
Let's sacrifice his. I don't want to get rid of my weapons and stuff. Definitely not the breastplate. Can he sacrifice
The breastplate has 2 durability on it, so you could have it somehow damaged in the altercation or the channeling, and you'd be down to 1 of 2 durability.
Right.
You can also willingly take a consequence. Like you could take a consequence to.
Yes, let's do that. I like that idea because all of a sudden this moment's all heating up and it's getting, out of hand here, and all of a sudden the gods step in and throw this, channeling through Relay.
Okay.
To kind of give everybody a moment to stop and think.
The final option that you can use to buy this down, in addition to this, if you want to take it all the way down to an obstacle 3 or lower, is you can give me impending doom, which is you cheating fate on this roll for a later complication.
Okay, cheating fate?
Cheating death, or cheating fate, or whatever you want to call it. So you could give me an impending doom and take this down to an obstacle 3 if you pick up. I would have to say this is going to be a severe consequence at least. So you're going to go down to 2 recovery.
Let's do the 4. Let's do the 4, and with just the 1 consequence.
All right. I'm going to say that the god that manifests through you is through lightning. So lightning actually strikes you to inflict a severe consequence. So you're going to be
it's a severe consequence?
It's going to be pretty intense. I mean, this is a high obstacle. You could downgrade that to a moderate if you first gave a impending doom to get the formidable down to a challenging and then reduce the challenging to a demanding. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, this is.
Yeah. So when I give you a doom, I just give you the doom, and then
I just get a doom.
Moderate. Okay, let's do that. Let's make it interesting.
All right, I have an impending doom. So we're gonna put what were you gonna call this? If we could give you a Harry Potter scar on your forehead.
That's true.
I'm just gonna call it singed by lightning.
Okay.
All right, rolling against an obstacle 3. So do you have your roll already prepped to roll?
I do. Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll it. Obstacle 3.
Oh yeah.
Bam.
I could have made the 5.
You could have.
Yes.
Hindsight is always 20/20, but instead you're going to get a major bonus. Now, lightning strikes down. Your breastplate and your helmet and your mace and your shield glow with the light as it I almost said ejaculates out. I'm trying to think of a word that says erupts. It erupts out of your body. Light flies out of your hands and your eyes, and it's an intense vision for everybody. And everyone just becomes locked in place. They turn to face you, and shortly after facing you, they become locked in place.
Did you just ejaculate lightning all over us?
My English wasn't working. So they are all held in place. Mm-hmm. Now the major bonus is going to be
I've got the
I'm actually going to give you you've got their rapt attention. That goes without saying. The 3/4 orc at this point views you as a god. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good. He might think you're an evil god or a good. No idea, but
right.
You're a god to him.
Right.
So terrified of you. He probably sees you and pretty much these guys think you're gods. You're a god, basically. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go ahead and let you take back 2 potential because you succeeded with a major bonus, and that's going to be sort of the mixture. Like them seeing you as a god would be a minor bonus, in my opinion. So you get the minor bonus plus a couple of potential back.
Yay.
So there you are. Everyone, you have the floor. They are locked. Move. All they can do is listen to you. What would you like to do, Raylan?
He'll kind of oddly look up and then kind of like after, he's singed his body and then kind of look around at everybody and like, kind of strangely looking like, why is everyone looking at me? And then he'll just realize that something just happened through him, kind of like, coming out of an epileptic attack and stuff like that. He kind of looks at everybody and it's like, stop. Sort of in the form of a question.
Uh-huh.
And does he notice that they're all just frozen? Held in place?
They're frozen. Like one of them is like the 3/4 orc is like mid-step, and he's being held in a way that he would not be able to hold his balance there unless he was restrained by a magical force.
Okay. And so he'll kind of turn to everybody, kind of regaining his composure at that moment with the last bits of divine power that were surging through him, and to go, no one is dying today, and especially not right now.
And then he backs up off the cliff on accident because he's right there on the
Oh, goodness.
And then he's going to turn and move over to the boulder.
Alrighty then.
I heard that sigh.
What sigh? Did I sigh?
Yeah, you went.
I might have been yawning.
Oh, okay, that was it.
No, I thought you were gonna like just push it in randomly. I wasn't sure what you were doing. It wasn't a sigh of negativity. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys,
Are we able
Jacob,
to
do you
talk
have to
while we're
work?
frozen?
Second, Jacob, do you have to work soon?
Oh, well, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off here in like the next 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I was thinking
I
we
got
need to
time.
get to a wrapping point. Myself, your mouths function, your bodies are locked in place.
Yeah.
You'd be doing that really awkward, like mouth hardly moves ventriloquist talking, but you can talk.
Yeah, because the target must succeed a wisdom save or is paralyzed. Target, yeah. So they're just kind of held in place. Yeah, the way it works.
Yep. What would you like to say, Perrin?
Why did you freeze me?
And
What is going on here? What is the meaning of this?
Relay's going to go, I didn't freeze you, but you have been frozen.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence.
Azar, what are you going to do? Or not do, I guess.
I stay quiet, but I'm just like so fiending for the power right now. Like, I want it so bad if I could just move. Harvest it.
So you guys have seen the manifestation of his power, and it has rendered you
Speechless.
yeah. Well, how long is Rayleigh intending to keep this going?
Do I have a choice to? Is it through me or whatever that I can release it?
Did you put a time limit on this spell, or did you, when you did it?
We're
Like,
just
were you
here.
thinking?
Yeah, just figure. Yeah, figure it would just go to a certain point, and then he wants to move over to the boulder and lift up the boulder and see if there's anything underneath it.
Out of nowhere, he's like, "Hold on, guys, I'm just gonna do some looting."
Everyone stop. There's a boulder over here. Guys.
Hey, he's got he's got a motivation on him that he's going to survive. He's going to find his skull so he can survive and get out of here. All these other guys were going to start killing each other. They could potentially, get him at one of these points because these orcs. And so now this power surged through him. And now he's just like, I got to find the skull and get the heck out of these people are crazy.
All right. So as you look under the rock, there are no skulls about the Tsar. It's just a rock. Might be a rat's nest underneath there. You might find a mushroom or something like that. But there's nothing really special about the rock aside that it could easily be pushed over.
Okay, he'll leave it in place then. And then he'll release everybody.
Everybody's released, and you have a very uncomfortable moment. The two orcs sort of back away. The fat man is utterly confused. He almost died, and then he didn't, and then shit happened. The two orcs, actually, they go in different directions because the two orcs hate each other now. Yeah. But they also hate Azar. Well, they both hate Azar because...
Oh, I know they have.
No, when friends wears off, the guy realized as you were lying to him, he's looking at you. He's like, "You're a shitty man. I will kill you eventually."
Is that the 3-4 sword?
Bad man.
And then Relay's going to... Can Relay turn to the 3-4 orcs and say, "No one is killing no one"?
He averts his eyes and sort of like does like this orcish rendition of crossing himself, kind of, but it's like weird. It's like an orc sign of religion. Like he's terrified of you, and he doesn't say anything though, and he stares off in the distance. There's basically an awkward silence. Does anybody want to break the ice?
I just start walking away to go look for a skull.
All right.
I'll say I'm happy to work with any of you. I think our best chance of survival is if we stay together, but I understand if you want to go your separate ways.
Relay will turn to Perrin and kind of go like, "I agree."
I don't like leave the group. I just kind of start looking like I'm impatiently ready to go.
Jacob's all like /leave group.
/leave.
Old school.
Yep.
Old school Final Fantasy. I've had it with this group. /leave.
I'm out of here.
All right, you guys begin making your way out of here, I guess.
Yep.
The orcs hang way back, and eventually, once the one orc realizes the other orc was being manipulated by a czar, they've sort of reunited into a group, and they seem to be hanging a little bit too close to each other. The fat man just sticks as close as he can to Pear, and he's like, this is odd. What's going on? I'm way out of my league. Are you some sort of knight?
I am indeed. If you
Why
stick
have
with
I
us
been
for
brought into
safety,
this?
I don't know. I don't know why any of us have
I'm
been
never
brought
going to
into
find
this.
this skull. Look at
We
me.
will. Have faith.
I'm out of shape. I'm on a mountain. Have faith. I'm going to die. Someone's going to find a skull, and I'm going to die.
I'm laughing
have to
like a
find a way-
madman.
We
Stay
have to
close
find a
to
way
us
to
and
break
we'll
this
protect
curse.
you. That's
How
my
can you
plan.
protect me? What if the curse kills you? Then what?
I have faith that the curse will not kill me.
But
You heard it. No one's dying today. I say as I laugh again. I put
right.
extra
You guys
emphasis
are-
on today.
Today.
You have three choices, Stout
Today.
Man. You can come with us, you can go with the orcs, or you can stay here and die.
I don't trust the orcs. I don't. Fine, I'll come with you. But do you promise to give me a skull? Am I worthy of one of the 13 skulls?
God, I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. I promise I will
Doomed
do
to
everything in my
honesty.
power to break the curse.
Can we play on the
No,
FaceTime?
out.
Way to dodge a question.
Yeah, that was very diplomatic. And Matt's going to have to always be very diplomatic.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's pauses for a moment. But what if we can't break the curse?
Well, then we all die together.
You're not going to seek a skull then? You're just going to seek to break the curse?
I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I know I will do everything in my power until I break this curse.
You're
We're in
not.
the same situation you are. We don't know where we are or why we were brought here. But we're just going to do everything that
Promise
we
me.
can to survive.
Promise me that you'll give me a skull. If we find a skull, I need to know that I'm going to survive.
Do I see anything down this way?
It's just a jackknifing cliffside that goes down the mountain eventually to a forest.
Gotcha.
I cannot make that promise.
So you'd have me die then? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm trying to help you. If you don't want to accept my help, that is on you.
Well, what about?
And I go up to the fat man, and I play with my knife a little bit. I'm like, look, dude, I'll fucking take my words back. I'll gut you right now, or you can get fucking moving.
He begins walking, and he's like, I'm not sure my place here.
I poke him with the dagger point. Not like too hard, but like kind of like annoying hard. And I'm like, you got something to lose. Get going.
He begins to shuffle down the cliffside with you guys. Relay, what do you think about everything that's unfolding?
He's now kind of back to his reclusive self. He's kind of walking along, but he's got sort of a curiosity that's spawning from Azir. He kind of knows where Perrin stands as he's been listening to everything, but he's got a curiosity. So as they're making their way down the cliffside there, heading towards the forest, he'll kind of scoot his way over towards Azir, and then he'll, kind of softly and, awkwardly turn and says, "Why were you seeking me?"
I was sent to keep you safe.
Safe from what?
Well, have you not seen all the crap we just went through? You're safe because I'm here. Trust me.
He's not believing you on that one. You see a look come across his face that's just, it's like, yeah, I've heard that before.
I look at Rayleigh, and I kind of feign concern, and I say, look, you know better than most of us that we don't know why we're here. Sometimes things just come over you and you're compelled to do what you feel, what you're told. I'm here because of a greater presence. I was here to take care of you.
Okay. So he did that, concludes his concern and the things that he was thinking, Relay was thinking.
Yeah.
With Azir. All right. At one point, the jackknife comes back around this way.
Oh.
So you guys have followed the trail down, and you're now walking back the other way like this.
Okay.
Walking along, having this discussion. When you realize, well, actually, the three of you just roll me a d6 real quick.
Wow.
Azar is too busy staring at the fat man's
work.
stomach.
That didn't work.
I only rolled a 2.
Yeah, you rolled the 2. All right. Rayleigh, and since you do seem to be the most paranoid of the bunch, as you're walking along and you're analyzing Azar's responses, and you're trying to determine, what is his role in this thing? What is the whole purpose? And then you ponder for a moment, and what is the role of the orcs? And then you realize, where are the orcs?
Yeah.
Do you just think that, or do you say that?
He's just going to think it to himself. He'll turn back around and go see. He'll just awkwardly turn back around and go. The flames come at him.
Hey, what is that?
Joe's playing.
Orc jizz.
Somebody's
were they hiding around us, jerking off?
Someone's peeing green on me.
Fucking weird orc traditions.
He'll turn
You have
back
no
around.
idea.
And he'll kind of reluctantly say something back there. It says, "Are you coming?"
You realize he's talking back behind you, and that kind of calls everyone's attention to the orcs, to the fact the orcs are nowhere to be seen.
I've noticed for some time I just didn't care to say anything. Because since I was pulling up the back.
And then if they don't show up or don't come around, just kind of scan around the area and look and see, are they, sitting up by the boulder ready to push it on top of somebody? or what? Wow.
And just about that time,
20d20.
I'm really good.
Guys have been walking along.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the fucking boulder. I knew it.
Perrin, you realize as all too late that the boulder has been pushed off, and then it's falling towards you, and basically the thing that signifies that it's pushed off, you hear one of the orcs call out, "You will not have a skull! I will survive!" Here's a boulder tumbling down towards you, Perrin. What would you like to do?
I'll try to dive out of the way at the same time that I yell out a warning to everybody.
All right. This is going to be demanding athletics check for you to dodge out of the way. Obstacle 3.
Since it is kind of a life or death thing, I'm going to add 6 potential to it.
6? Your athletics is 4.
Oh,
You're against an obstacle 3, so with
3,
you're
4.
competent in athletics, so you have 4d6.
I'll add 4 to it.
So you want to roll
would
8d6 total.
Relay
Yeah.
would like to use a daily spell too, if he could. One of the ones that's listed. Sanctuary.
Which one?
Sanctuary.
Okay. Sanctuary reduces the obstacle of a defensive situation.
Actions like defensive actions against
Correct.
physical or magical attacks. Yes. So it's a physical attack
All
of
right.
a boulder falling down on Perrin. He wants to reduce the obstacle going against Perrin.
All right. He's going to reduce the obstacle to 2 then. Basically, you feel a sort of divine, like the paladin bubble from
Yeah.
World of Warcraft that forms around you. Doesn't make you impervious. It just gives you a slight edge in defense, and it forms around you. And you could see that Relay has his hand out or his mace out or whatever. Relay is doing this to you.
Yeah, he's staring.
So you'll be going
staring
against
at you. Staring at you. No hands up or no symbols or anything like that. Just staring at you.
So you'll be up
All right,
against
I
an
will
obstacle 2 instead.
use 2 potential then.
So
It's
rolling
kind of
6
a-
dice against an ob 2.
Yeah, it's still kind of a gut reaction. Like it's all so fast that I don't think I would know that. Oh, I'll be fine. Like I have a good feeling about
That's
it.
the thing. That's the game is very meta. So you step back and don't overspend your potential. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like think of it in a very meta situation, because if Matt wants to spend extra to absolutely guarantee and potentially get a bonus, then that's fine. But if you're thinking my character wouldn't do this because of this, in this case, be more meta about it, because he used a daily spell to reduce the obstacle for you.
Gotcha. I'll still use 2 because if I use nothing, it's still only a 50-50 chance.
Right. Three.
All right.
All right, I put a check for your daily spell there, MJ, because you used one. Did you reduce your potential?
Yeah, I just brought it down to 11.
Alrighty. So against the obstacle 2, you got 3, so you're going to get a small bonus. When you dive out of the way, you realize that the fat man is going to, once the boulder impacts, it's going to roll over and crush him. And you have time to respond and pull him out of the way as your minor bonus if you would like to.
Yes, I will pull him out of the way.
Well, the natural occurrence of that is you've gained his trust. While he kind of sees you in this duality of he won't promise me a skull, but he did just save me from a falling rock, so he kind of trusts you a little bit better now.
And I saved him from the orc too. This guy better like me.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he likes you and hates you at the same time. He's like, I trust you the most, but you still won't promise me, damn it.
Yeah.
Why are all men afraid of commitment? God.
So the rock smashes down and you pull the fat man out of the way. And the orcs are yelling, and they pick up small stones and they're throwing them at you guys, just pelting you with rocks.
Can
we'll get you.
Can I reach them with my tentacle whip thing?
Sure. What do you want to try to do?
I want to try to whip up and grab the ankle or whatever of one of the orcs, the 3/4 orc, and just yank him off.
Are you trying to yank him down to his death?
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be
I'm back.
To outright kill the guy, it's going to be challenging for you to yank him down from the cliff, because this fall would likely kill him.
Yeah.
It's pretty far distance. You're going to have to do it and manipulate the angle of the tentacles flying so that they can get him and intercept him as he tries to dodge out of the way and all that stuff. So it's not just a simple whip.
Because it's willpower or an Eldritch thing. Can I use my willpower?
Your Eldritch was deceive, remember?
Oh, okay, right.
This is you basically deceiving a god to perform your whatevers.
I clicked the wrong button.
Obstacle 4. Now remember, first step is deciding how much potential you may need to spend.
I'm going to
You want
use...
to fall back on Crux, and would you like to buy down the obstacle in any way?
I want to spend 4 potential to double my chances, pretty much. So deceive.
Sounds good to me.
Plus 4.
Bam.
Where am I? There we go.
Wow.
I mean,
5.
you got a 5.
Nice.
So what does it look like when the whip or the tentacle erupts out of you, and what manner does it erupt, and what does it do to the 3/4 orc?
It looks like my eyes kind of glow a bit, like they're like a solid white, but they have like a hue of purple to them, you know? And just out of the sky above the orc, there's kind of like in front of him, there's like this swirling little portal looking thing as I like murmuring to myself. And then like the orcs are like looking at it mesmerized, and the tentacle comes out and it's like all writhing and weird and looking and freaks them out, and then just like snatches them up and yanks them like it's trying to pull him into the portal, but it dissipates as he just like flies forward.
He plummets down, landing face first into the ground and breaking his neck instantly. Blood just starts pouring out of his broken face. His shield and spear skitter across the ground. And your minor bonus is the orc that was attacking you guys, and he was like drawing out a crossbow and cranking it up or something, just turns and flees. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. He's 5,000.
I'm fucking with gods over here. I'm done.
I'm done.
Does the orc look like he has anything valuable on him, like a trinket, or is he just like a dirty orc?
He's a dirty orc. I mean,
okay.
Give me an idea what you'd like to find. If it makes sense.
Any kind of currency, any kind of like fetish doll or some kind of weird like thing, you know?
Fetish doll.
Yeah, there's an orcish religious fetish. It depicts Grumsh. It's like a small carven statue of a one-eyed orc, basically.
I take it.
Okay, go ahead and write Grumsh fetish in your inventory. You never know, because I had a game where one of the players was flirting with a guy. It was a girl, and she's flirting with the guy, and he offered her a bottle of wine, and like he was going to try to seduce her, and she took the bottle of wine and ran away. So she just had this bottle of wine sitting in her bag forever, and they actually got attacked by orcs, and they spiked the wine with herbs and gave it to him because he was basically trying to take her as a wife. And she said, okay, well, in celebration of our marriage, you have to drink, it's customary. And then he drank the wine and got poisoned. And it's like, you had this bottle of wine forever, and it actually got you out of a really bad situation.
Fucking Chekhov's bottle of wine.
Right.
Yeah. So you never know.
Hey, that other orc ran away. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know where he is. He could be
anywhere.
Returning later.
He's just right up there on the top of the ledge. I can see him.
He's right there, guys.
You don't have LOS on him. No LOS.
I don't have.
But all right, that's where we're going to wrap it up today.
Awesome.
We'll pick up tomorrow. I mean, I wish tomorrow.
I
next
wish
Tuesday.
Tomorrow.
And we'll have a more full and more interesting game. This was a lot of introduction and explanations.
Right.
But for the final end of the story thing. You guys did come up with your motivations kind of late. Call the competition of the skulls to better my chances, Azar. I would definitely say you succeeded in that. You killed an orc.
Yeah.
So I'm going to deal you a Crux for that. And then you want to become a powerful lich. You didn't do anything towards becoming a powerful lich.
Yeah, not yet. That's a long
Perrin, figure out how to break the curse to save lives. You've put no effort into that whatsoever yet. Find a skull for yourself in Relay. You haven't really had a chance at doing that either. You basically, we walked down a mountain.
Walk down the mountain and keep saving the fat man.
It keeps
the fat man over. Make a motive that says "Save the fat man" and you'll get a Crux every game.
Yep.
Motives
a random
for
weak guy
MJ.
with us all game.
Use the group to get off the mountain. You have been actually doing that, so you're almost off the mountain. So you will get a Crux for that.
Nice.
And then find a skull so that I can survive. You haven't really actually. You don't even know where the skulls are until you guys even have a direction. You can't say that you're finding a skull. You know.
Relay will walk over to Azure and ask him for a dagger and come over to the 3/4 orc and cut his head off and say, "Did I get a skull?"
You like look at his name tag. It says Barry. You're like,
no, that's what it's called in orc culture. It's their name top.
Name top. Well, no, it's not Balthazar.
That's right.
All right. So, based off the game so far, you guys will get more fluent at the rules relatively quickly. Yeah. But what do you think so far about it?
I like it.
I like it a lot. I think it's a really fun, interesting style that makes sense.
Yeah, the dice mechanic works well. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy.
I like the more power over the outcome. I like for players to have a lot of power over the outcome. And then, like, you invested in taking a wound so that you could pull off this high obstacle versus, where you arbitrarily get subjected to wounds by a D20 rolling a crit on you. And you're like, son of a bitch, I think it's more interesting for everyone to be meta invested in what's happening to their character.
Right.
I also think it's just fantastic that we get completely locked down so he can go check a boulder.
That's right. I almost pushed that boulder off. I got to tell you.
No, I almost going to fall into a chasm.
Off. Yep.
If you'd pushed the boulder off, it would have changed the story completely. But I'm like, oh, they're just walking off. And I even said that the orcs are back here chilling, and they're just walking off. Yep. And I'm like, and I said it was jackknifing back and forth. So it makes sense that they jackknife under this boulder. I'm going to push this shit off on them. It's just perfect.
The whole time I was thinking, if we push that boulder off, some giant monster is going to come out of that chasm and fucking rape us.
There's
Let's
a dragon.
not fucking touch it. Yeah, we don't need another baby red dragon over here.
I was so close when I had you guys all held. I was going to push that thing off.
It's funny. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm writing up the aspects for this area, and I'm like, okay, there's this weird fog, which nobody looked at. I was like, clouded looming peak, so you guys don't know where you are. And then I'm like, what else? Well, you just put a random big rock over here, and we'll see what happens with it. So I put a rock on the map and wrote an aspect that says large boulder tempts fate on the
precipice before you.
I can't speak.
Yeah, no, the boulder was like a big part of everything. I'm like, no, I'm not falling for it. I'm not pushing this rock in there.
But it's sitting there tempting fate. It's just so loaded. It's so loaded. You're like, what is this rock? That's what I love about scene aspects. They always become interesting. Because I had a scene aspect once on a scene they were in, Jacob, there is a box of dynamite, open box of dynamite. Just guess what MJ did with an open box of dynamite.
Man. Oh my god!
Throw a fireball in there.
No, I solved multiple problems with
He
one
he
box
threw
of
a
dynamite.
lit stick
I
of
don't know about
dynamite
that.
into the box of dynamite.
After I had kind of
It
just
was
talked our
beautiful.
way out of danger, he threw a stick of dynamite
Yeah.
and blew up like the entire room.
Hey, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Imagine what you can get now with a box of dynamite.
The Belraga font was huge, and it was brutalizing everything in there. We had to get rid of it, so I did.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Laga font.
Belraga font.
All right, guys, it was fun.
It's
I
a
gotta
word.
take off, though.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
check y'all later.
Have a
Sweet.
good one.
Later.
See you, Jacob.
That's it for me too, guys. Feel free to
Cool.
discuss stuff in the forum. If you have any questions about the system or want to make any suggestions, let me know because it's a work in progress. And I'll see you guys next week.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's a fun one. Thank you.
Cool.
Later.